afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, anywhere in the world. Welcome to Panelists. I'm Esther Bryan, the owner and CEO of Panelists. At Panelists, we do amazing things in this farm. Panelists is where tradition meets modern health and beauty. We live up to our slogan, luxurious, elegant, and affordable. At Panelists, we have one of our amazing treatment rooms. It's called the Ayurveda room. In that Ayurveda room, we do the Sharadara oil treatment. Sharadara helps you to ease your stress. It's very relaxing. Once that treatment is done, you feel very calm, you have good sleep, and we have professionals doing all these treatments. You should see our pedicure rooms. Our pedicure room is amazing. You'll be very comfortable. We have professionals to make sure that you leave here with a soft feet. We will make sure that you leave here with your nails well done. We have an amazing hammam room. We have a professional from Morocco who will give you a Moroccan bath, nothing you have experienced. So come to Panelists and enjoy these services. Our massage room is where we do the Swedish massage, the hot stone massage, deep tissue massage, and everything. Our facial room is another amazing room. Before we do your facial, we analyze your skin with our skin analyzer machine, and then we recommend, our professional recommend the kind of facial for you to do. We also have amazing products. We have products like Eminence, we have products like The Ordinary, we have products like Olay, we have the CeraVe, and just so many amazing products. Oh, ladies, listen. This one is only for my ladies. At Panelists, we have something called the Panelists Secret Garden. I'm not going to say it here. We don't want you guys to know what we're doing. But when you walk into Panelists, just inquire about our secret garden. We are located in Colony Hotel Compound, Congo Town, Monrovia, Liberia.
Looking for a quality and affordable insurance company? Then look no further. Peter Massico Insurance, located in central New Jersey, is one of the best around. Peter Massico Insurance specializes in homeowners insurance, auto insurance, life insurance, business insurance, and many more. We even offer a free financial planning consultation. We partner with over 20 top-rated companies to make sure we provide affordable prices to our clients. We have a full bilingual staff to fit your needs as well. Let Peter Massico Insurance help you today.
Many times when Liberians come to the States, driving becomes an issue for them. So the train coming here will give people the opportunity to find better jobs, to be able to move around easily, and will cut down some of the costs that we incur on ourselves. Some of the older people, we got people that have to go for them and bring them to buy their groceries. Now, they can do it on their own. The Blue Line coming to Brooklyn Park, especially where we are concentrated, will be a blessing to most of us.
Let your celebration begin with Park Liquor Outlet, your first Liberian-owned liquor store in the city of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We have everything that you need to set that special occasion or bride. For your next party or great get-together with friends, visit Park Liquor Outlet. We have great selection of beer, wine, gin, and many more at affordable prices. Our customer service will make you always want to come back. We are open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Park Liquor Outlet, your one-stop celebration store. We are located at 6315 Zine Avenue North, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Visit us today and feel the difference.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, anywhere in the world. Welcome to Panelists. I'm Esther Nimeli Bryan, the owner and CEO of Panelists. At Panelists, we do amazing things in this car. Pamper Palace is where tradition meets modern health and beauty. We live up to our slogan, luxurious, elegant, and affordable. At Pamper Palace, we have one of our amazing treatment rooms. It's called
out for 1 hour because I didn't get to wait up for 100 days.
You you muted, Henry. You muted. Henry, you're on live. You muted. Henry, can you hear me?
Apologize
Yeah.
for
Could you can you hear me, Henry? You are muted. I was talking.
So, Kev, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. And how are you? Folks, I want to apologize. We had some technical difficulty in the back. You guys know how this thing works. Sometimes it do happen, but want to apologize for coming on this hour. But we had a technical difficulty from the studio. So, Henry, how are you? How everything? What going on? What is the latest back home? You hear me, Henry? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Henry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Henry, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Henry, in the studio, can you hear me? Can you reply when I say something?
Yes, I'm getting you.
Yeah, I want you to reply when I say something. Somebody distracting you from there. Can you? We on live, so focus on me, then the person, so we can get on, because I'm trying to say, can you hear me? And it's on live right now on the radio. So we would like your attention. I will ask you a question to give us a little rundown of what happening in the country today.
Thank you. Thank you, Kev. Uh, like I said yesterday, small mag is on.
Go ahead, Henry. Go ahead.
Okay. Like I said, we are already in the conclusion of the campaign process. You see, too many presidential candidates, despite of the representative candidates, everyone are getting their conclusion. And then, like today, in district number 2, Representative Jimmy Smith He launched his official campaign today. And on tomorrow, we are also expecting the United Party. But at the moment, the ANC, they are currently in Zwedru, gearing up, doing their final conclusion for the October. As you may be aware, it was quite recently they did their official launch, and then they just go there to talk to their partisans, not to forget about them, comes October. So they are just like wrapping up things. And then on tomorrow, the Unity Party will be for their official launch. And then we've been seeing a lot of Unity Party things. Also, some of them are saying that us tomorrow because they have proven to the ruling establishment that September 7th, they were already outside. So they are not actually working tomorrow. So if the screen will not be packed, it does not mean that Unity Party does not have the number. So maybe you will just partisans outside on tomorrow. But tomorrow is scheduled for their campaign. And some of the folks from Unity Party are already in to Monrovia for their official launch. Like for today, at the residence of former ambassador Waga, we have some partisans there cheering up, waiting for their final launch on tomorrow. One big thing I can tell you is that the district number 4 candidates, Honorable Laiki, he's a DG for the Renaissance Communication Incorporated, a Chuba fan. He will also be doing his launch on tomorrow. So with that, to conclude, like I said, you will just see candidates who are aspiring for the seat doing their conclusion for the final launch October 10th election. So that does it from my end.
Okay, well, thank you. There's a feedback or something coming from your end, so I think you should work on it. And Jackie and Lofa, welcome to the closing argument. I will give you guys time for your openings. And Jackie, while you're doing your openings, can you call our folks' name? I'm not good at that. So,
all right.
Yeah. So let me go to ladies first. That's why you came before Lofa, but let me. That's why Lofa came before you. I mean,
Thank you.
let me go. Let me go to you, Jackie. Yeah.
Even if you asked me to go first, I wasn't going to accept it. I ain't trying to get in trouble with Jackie today. I'm trying to be on her good side.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jackie.
Well, Lofa Keff Hassan. Oh, Keff, you changed your title, CDC Deputy Spokesman. But you just put it up, or has it been up?
No, I'm just seeing it too.
All right. I'm like,
It's been up for a while now. Maybe.
I'm just seeing it. Or is it official now? Is it official?
it been official, but he just putting it up.
No, it's been up for a while.
That label being up there?
Yeah. You guys.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll go with a few on the show, but you know the print.
Yeah, because
that's why it's more visible. Yeah. So that's probably what's going on. Yeah, but anyway, welcome. It's Friday, October 6th. And what? We got how many more days? 4? 3, 4?
We got about 4 more
days till D-Day, I don't know, I hear the momentum is high in Liberia throughout the 15 counties. So we can only hope that the voter turnout will represent that, that people will not be deterred, discouraged. and that or intimidated, that they will go out and show themselves in droves. And I hope the weather holds up. Lofa, did you check the weather at all to see our weather? Because it's 4 days from now. I think it will be safe for us to check the weather.
That's fair. We can do that. Check the weather
and see what it will be like. But no matter what, folks, you're going out to vote on Tuesday. Take your whatever plastic. If you have a plastic hair wrap to protect your hair from getting wet, even if it's a plastic bag. Because if I were out there, I didn't have umbrella, I would go and get a plastic bag from some market woman somewhere and put it on my head. My clothes can get wet. When we were small, we used to march in the rain on what is Lofa Julius and Keff, Flag Day, and what's the other holiday? Independence Day. We march in the rain. So as kids, we used to march in the rain, play in the rain. People, this is your day. Election day is a day for you, the public, the voter, the citizen, and it is your right, your constitutional right, and you must, and your civic duty as well. So you have to go out there, go and vote, plan your vote right now, plan it. Don't wait till last minute to plan it. When you say plan it, what you mean? I mean that make sure you know where your voter registration card is, number one. Your vote is in your heart. Don't go around all over the place telling people, even on election day, especially election day when you're standing up in line. Anybody go ask you who you're voting for, even if it's the NEC official, you're not telling them, because the Constitution says your vote is your secret. It's right here in the Constitution. They say every citizen has a right to cast a secret what? Ballot. There's a reason why the Constitution call it a secret, so that nobody can try to persuade you otherwise, especially on election day. So on election day, do not tell anybody who you're voting for until after you have voted and left that polling place. When you leave it, you want to go tell people who you voted for, is up to you. But not while you're standing on the line, and not before you have voted. You can tell people after you finish voting. And number one. Number two, voter education, I'm doing it now. Number two, your ballot, when you go to that place, stay in line. Don't leave. Be in line by 7:30. Polls open at 8 o'clock. The polls close at 6, but you want to be in line by 5 o'clock. 5:30, 5:55, 5:59, even by 6 o'clock. They can let you in as long as you're standing in line. 6:01, NEC will not let you in. But don't wait the 30 minutes before. Make sure you're standing in line by 5 o'clock. And even if the line is long, this is your day for you. Stand in that line, cast your vote, and don't leave until your vote is cast. The next one, when they gave you ballot, there will be 3. One for the president, one for House of Representatives, and one for Senate. From what I understand from NEC, is also make sure that all of the ballots are stamped. That it got stamped on there from NEC. When you go in that little small booth to go vote, nobody's also be looking over your head to see who you're voting for. When you go there, you make sure you put that check mark or X or your thumbprint. Use your thumbprint if you don't know how to write, but it must be in that square, that box next to your candidate. Don't put it outside. Don't get angry and say, I don't like the other candidate, I don't like that other candidate. If you go put any other mark on the ballot, it will be considered invalid. That means your vote would not be counted. You will just waste your energy for nothing. The only thing you do with those 3 papers, you look for your candidate, the box right next to your candidate, you put an X in there, you put a check mark in that box, make sure it's inside the box, or you use your print, you mark inside the box. If you're marking inside the box with your print, blow it a little bit, count from 1 to 10, and then you fold it, make sure it's dry. That ink is dry before you fold your ballot and put it in the ballot box. If the ink is not dry, the ink may waste or scatter on other candidates, and then your vote will be considered invalid. So you gotta make sure when you're using your thumb or whatever you're using, your index finger to mark your candidate, count from 1 to 10. If you want to blow it or fan it a little bit, you do it. But go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how you count. Make sure it's dry. If you gotta fan it, you fan it before you fold your ballot, before you put it in the ballot box. Make sure your 3 ballots are stamped by neck before you go vote and when you put it in the ballot box. So yeah, it's exciting. We all should make sure that we have a peaceful day, and plan your vote. Have your transportation. Know how you're going to the ballot, to the polling place. Know where your polling place is. By Sunday, you must know where your polling place is. If you know by Sunday, Monday, make sure you call family member or somebody you can trust to tell you where your polling place will be. That way you know where you're going. You have your transportation. If you're going to vote in the morning, you go in the morning. If you vote in the afternoon, make sure you're there no later than 5:30 in the line. Okay? Yeah. So, but the polls are closing at 6. So you got to be in line by 6 o'clock. But don't wait for 6 o'clock. That's why I say make sure you're there by 5:30. So, hey, that's my little voter education. We'd like to, we'll talk about it more. Marcus Davis, welcome. Benjamin Thomas, welcome. Allison, welcome. Ruth Roberts Spenger, welcome. Joseph Paul, Eugenia Greenwood, Bochosico Borgiasi, Fofana, welcome. Gabriel Troyena Jr., welcome. Mana George, welcome. Garme Gavla, Brian Jigwa, welcome. Welcome, Phil Jones, welcome. Abraham Fenny, welcome. Marcia Elotti, Ang Gregory, welcome. Paulo Felicia Johnson, Michael Johnson, welcome. And to everyone, Bilson Pay, welcome. Everybody in Liberia and around the world would like to once again welcome you to the closing argument today, and hope that everybody will be having a wonderful weekend, a peaceful weekend. If you're closing and participating in any political rally this weekend all over the country, please let's make sure that it's peaceful and that nobody carries out any kind of provocation whatsoever. And I turn it back to you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Jackie. Lofa, I sent you a couple of video, and I wanted to cue after you finish, so I can play it after your opening. If you can just cue it in. So after, it's about voter education, so our people can listen.
Mackenzie Doe is saying the weather is predicted to be a low high. Can I say that real quick? Mackenzie Doe is saying the weather is predicted to be a low and high of 78 and 86 degrees Fahrenheit, respectively, partly sunny. So we hope that will be the case over the 15 counties. Partly sunny sounds good. That means it will not be too hot. But sometimes, even if the weather is sunny in Monrovia, you go to Lofa County or Grand Gita, the weather may be slightly different. So we just pray, regardless of the weather, that everybody showed up. But thank you, Mackenzie, for that information. Thank you. Y'all keep the information coming.
Not serving as a meteorologist. Again, disclaimer, not serving as a meteorologist, but information from weather.com states that there's an expected 85-degree scattered thunderstorm.
Oh, storm.
At 58%. So
chances of rain.
Right. Chances of rain. Right. That is for Tuesday, October 10th. So basically, it's a variable cloud with scattered thunderstorm, high near 85 degrees Fahrenheit, wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour, chances of rain 60%. Rain thunderstorm, low 76 degrees Fahrenheit, wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chances of rain again is at 60%. Now, that is just focused. That is in general. Disclaimer, I am not serving as a meteorologist for closing argument. I'm simply just providing information offer weather.com information that is available, and it is subject to change based on information based on the weather portion. So just to get that information out there. And I think other days after, but days before, again, for a lot of you who are prepping yourselves, I know Monday is actually projected at 83 degree Fahrenheit, 76, with a thunderstorm as well. So days before, you also expected to have rain, thunderstorm. But I'm pretty sure for the sake of Liberia and better days, you can also, weather that. Get your gloves, get your raincoats, umbrella, whatever you need to get it on, get out there, cast your vote. That's part of the sacrifice that need to be made in order to move Liberia forward. So I just, caution everybody, I should get out there in this rainy season. I don't know about driving. I never drove in Liberia, never tested it before, but it can be really crazy when you drive it in cities or states where people really don't know how to drive, like North Carolina and New York and some part of Chicago. People don't know how to drive. So if you're driving and, be careful how you're driving out there. Not everybody's going to look out for you as you drive. Just to say that to you, be careful when you drive, especially on that special day. It's election day. People will be either excited, people will be nervous, some people not paying attention, people be paying attention. Be very careful as you drive, and drive for you and your pedestrians. That's very important. Now, with that said, I just want to say I'm great to be on again today. A lot of great things happen in Liberia today. Hopefully, we can dive into some of those things, including the statement released by the U.S. Embassy. The acting ambassador, I want to believe to be correct, she made a statement. It was actually done on Prime FM this morning, and I hope that we can actually play the entire recording because it was done during the live podcast. So she's reading that, and hopefully we can kind of go through it to just get a gist of what is being stated, and maybe just do a little bit of analysis of what is expected or what the United States is thinking going forward. And again, to all of our audience, those of you following far and near, the virtual work have us all living together where we don't have to provide any form of identification because we are one people. So welcome, be a part of the conversation. As Jackie rightfully said, contribute in the best way possible, but let us learn to be civil, disagree in a very civil manner, and let us push Liberia forward. Thank you.
Okay. You getting the video ready? Because I wanted to
Keff Hassan, this video will get ready. You man, you got Joel Howard Taylor face on the front of voting. Like that's supposed to be excited. It's Joel, dude. Like I will get it for
you. Can you get the video?
Yeah, we'll get the video ready. Joel Howard Taylor, man.
Lofa, this is we on radio, Lofa. We on radio.
I will cue it. I will cue it for you. I know Jackie still don't want to watch it. Jackie's not going to watch it.
We're on radio, Lofa. Thousands of people listening. It's not just
okay. But I'm just saying it's just Joel. I'm not saying nothing bad.
It's voter education. I gave you two. I sent you two.
Oh, number two? Okay.
Yeah, I sent you two. Just put it on.
All right. Would you want me to play the second one or the first one?
You can play the first one, second one, and I want to play all two so that people can listen.
Okay, hold on 1 second. All right.
Yeah.
All right, hold on for a second. There you go. Is it projected? All right.
Hello, Liberians. Election is everybody's business. Let us come out on October 10, 2023 and exercise our constitutional right.
ABC says vote, vote. October 10, everybody let's vote. Your vote is your right. Liberians vote, vote. October 10, everybody let's vote. Your vote is your right.
Tokwa, the blind man, was sent by the black staff to bring somebody he trusts to help him vote. Step 1, at the polling place, as you can see, Yasa, Tokwa, and others are standing on the line, monitored by the queue controller. The queue controller will look at everyone's biometric voter ID card number and direct you where to go. The queue controller will carefully check on the line to see if any of our brothers and sisters who are physically challenged, like the blind, the disabled, our old people, and baby man them, from the back and bring them in front of the line and send them to the VRO or the voter identification officer so they can be the first to vote because of their condition. Step 2, the voter identification officer, VRO. The voter identification officer will take your biometric voter ID card from you and they will look for your name in the final registration rule, the FRR. Where they will find your name. They will send you to the ballot paper issuer, the BPR. Step 3, the ballot papers issuer. When you reach to the ballot issuer, they will give you 3 ballot papers or 3 voting papers. 1, the red ballot or voting paper is for the president and vice president. 2, the blue ballot paper is for the senators and the green ballot paper is for the representatives. The ballot paper issuer will show you how to fold it and they will send you to the voting screen or voting room. Step 4, the voting screen or voting room. You will go in the voting screen or the voting room to mark your ballots or your voting papers. In the voting screen or voting room, you can use one of the 3 marks that NEC show us. 1, the X mark. 2, the check mark. And 3, your thumbprints to mark your ballots. After you finish marking your ballot papers or your voting papers, you will fold in goods and go to the ballot boxes. Step 5, the inker. From the screening room or voting room, you will go to the inker. They will ink your left thumb or your left big finger. Now you go to the ballot boxes. Step 6, at the ballot boxes, the red paper, you will take it and put it in the box that get red on it. That one there is for the president and vice president. Then you will go to the second box. That one there, it get the blue paper on it. You will put the blue paper in the box. That one there is for the senators them. The last box, that the box that get a green paper on it. You will put the green paper in it. This box is for the representatives. When you finish, you will get outside and go straight to your house so you can give other people the chance to vote too and to avoid trouble. No standing around the voting center when you finish voting. My people, you have to be patient on election day. Remember, the voting time is from 8 a.m. in the morning and it will end 6 p.m. in the evening. No one will be allowed on the line after 6 p.m. Only those on the line after 6 p.m. will be allowed to vote. There will be no campaigning on election day. No one is allowed to wear campaign materials on election day. My people that are there, election that everybody business.
Hello, Liberians. Election is everybody business. Let us come out on October 10, 2023 and exercise our constitutional right.
ABC says vote, vote. October 10, everybody, let's vote. Your vote is your right.
Okay, you get the other one ready, Lofa, so we can just play it.
Okay.
That's another voter education because I was wondering if we could replay that, but if we got another one, I'm talking about like in the middle to the end as well.
Yeah, this one is the vice president talking about voters education also.
Come on, man. Careful.
Can you play? Let's play this and listen to this, Lofa. Let's play and listen to this, please.
On October 10, 2023, Liberians from all across the nation will gather to vote for their new leaders. This right of choice is your constitutional right. Please do all you can to exercise same. It is my prayer that each one will do so in a peaceful manner so that the peace and stability of our nation will remain. I hereby call on all Liberians to vote for their preferred candidate based on the record set and not based on rumors and negative information. Vote right so that the peace and development of Liberia will continue. President Weah and I are campaigning on our record. And our record shows that over the past 5 years, we have impacted the lives of Liberians at every sector, with major impact on healthcare, education, infrastructure, roads, and youth development. Vote number 18 on the presidential ballot.
Look where you stop it. Can you continue?
Keff, at this point, this is campaign message. This is not voters' education. She's campaigning.
October 10th.
Can you let it continue, please?
At this point, this voters.
On October 10, 2023, Liberians from all across.
I will let it end. I will let it end.
Lofa, I'm running I'm moderating. Can you let it?
If you do that, there's one in the chat room for JMB. I mean, this is supposed to be in general for everybody.
Right. It should be a general. This is campaign message over here, Keff Hassan. We can't be like that, bro. I mean, I'm not moderating. You're the moderator, but I'm just saying.
Listen. I'm moderating.
When if you do this, then he will have to play the JMB one.
I'm moderating the show and let the show go on.
No, but you can moderate the show. If you moderate, then it must be balanced, Kev. I'm just saying because our voter education was for the people in its entirety. So if you do this, there is one for JMB, then you will have to play it as well. Then Lofa
Julius will have to play it. It's up to you. It's up to you. You can't stop it. Can this run?
All right. It's all right. I'll play it up to the end anyway. I'll play it.
It's up to you. I think it's unprofessional to stop stuff in the middle. You can always
on October 10, 2023.
If you have to undertake technology,
but you can text in the back if you disagree.
No, I'm just saying it's
you can text.
Again, we didn't know this was a campaign message.
Right. You can text in the back if you disagree.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm just saying.
No, I think it's wrong. You can text in the back if you disagree. I think it's unprofessional.
Okay,
let us continue. Right? Let us continue.
It completed. It did. It's not
gonna
go.
You cut it off. You cut it off.
Infrastructure, roads, and youth development. Vote number 18 on the presidential ballot on October 10. On October 10, 2023,
before, so
okay, yeah, it's not gonna sound again. Keff Hassan. That's it.
The next one, we can play it towards the end of the show again.
Can we play the next one more time?
I
think it's important. That next one should be
played. Listen, guys. If I'm moderating the show,
okay, Kev, go ahead, moderate the show the way you want to.
Even though you're moderating, you can take suggestions from your
if you want to, well, I will not take anything that will appear and unprofessional. You can text me in the back, then I will tell you what we should talk about. But coming up and disagreeing and behaving like that, I think it's rude.
Jeff, can I have you? Can I ask you a question?
No. What we're gonna do? What we're gonna do right now? I'm gonna bring Robert on. Robert, say your openings, and then we move on. Say your opening, Robert.
Thank you.
If you want to say anything to me, text it to me, and we'll talk it. We're not going to debate on air.
Yeah,
thousands of people. That's waste of air time. That's complete nonsense. That's waste of air time. You can text me.
Yeah, guys. So
radio station out there. They're wasting the gas and people waiting to listen. If you disagree, this is not Facebook.
Kev, you already brought Robert.
So
let me go ahead.
Lofa, I think it was very unprofessional on your part, and I'm disappointed.
Misled me to believe.
So disappointed. So let's continue with it. Go ahead, Robert.
Thank you, guys. So let's handle this behind closed doors.
Yes, exactly.
Because we're on air. We're on air right now, and people are watching. Let's talk about this behind. Let's talk about it behind closed doors.
I was misled.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it behind.
Believe
that. Go ahead, Robert.
Kev, Lofa. Let's talk about this behind closed doors.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's do that.
Very unprofessional.
Go ahead. Thank you, Kev. Thank you. It's another great day in radio land, and people are watching, people are listening to us on live radio. So yeah, let's talk about those things behind closed doors. If Kev is the moderator, text him. We have a group chat, right? Let's utilize let's utilize the group chat.
That was very
But
unprofessional.
it's great to be on. It's great to be on, and hopefully we can delve into what's been happening. I was browsing on Next Facebook page, and I saw some updates on there about the piercing of cars, and I thought that they gave some great explanation as to why that should not be done, and other options that are out there. And I thought that was great information. Lofa talk about the ambassador statement, so hopefully we can talk about that. But as we get near to elections, we've got to be peaceful. Let's be peaceful. Let's be tolerant of each other. And let's remember, man, it's great to have these fierce debates about the issues. But at the end of the day, come and pass October 10th, we're all Liberians, and we must put aside our political differences and respect the voices of the people, and handle our grievances accordingly, and move forward as a country, man. Someone said the sedition thought that 6 years would come and will never end, right? But there's always an end to a start. So another 6 years will come, and that 6 years will go, and our democratic process must prevail and continue. So, Kev, thank you. I look forward to having these discussions. Thank you.
Yeah, you talk about the Prime FM video interview today by the I may say I think she's the Shashi Affairs, right? Probably the acting ambassador, and she was on Prime FM today with Kevin, and this question came about, and about punching the voter card, because I think it's one of the most one of the arguments from the Unity Party. I wish Jackie could come on, because I wanted to place that question to her. Roland were talking about it yesterday, but Robert, you listened to it, right? You listened to what she said. She talked about it, and she was saying it was not necessary or something, because she got good explanation from NEC. So you listened to the interview, right? Can you?
Well, I did listen to the full interview, but I listened to parts of it.
Yeah, did you tell me first where she talked about the punching of the?
Yeah, so basically she was, and it wasn't too long after NEC uploaded those information on their Facebook page. I'm using my phone right now, so I can't go to it. But if anyone can go to NEC's Facebook official Facebook page.
If you have that video, can we cue it in and see where we can talk about it? I think. Sure. I think we can.
Which video are we talking about? Which one are we talking about? We're talking about
the Prime FM this morning, because you talk about punching of the voter.
Yeah, so it'll be great if we can share a little bit of that, and then we can talk about it.
Because the reason I want us to go, because one of the argument from the Unity Party, they actually making that a huge part. But before it come on, one of the things I want to, we listen to that voter education from NEC. They talk about after you vote, you should go home, right? The Unity Party are telling the folks they should stay there. So it's something that we need to talk about. We Jackie can come on and let's talk about that. Okay, I think
Kev, I have it on here.
Okay, let me play it.
if you okay, if you allow me to, let me just do 30 seconds here.
Go ahead.
Clarity here. Now, folks, I hate to put my face on the front of information that is deceptive to the public. I was told the information provided previously, the video that was played would have been voters' education. When I realized that that communication included campaign message, I think it would have been fair to notify the public instead of us being deceptive and just lowballing them and playing a video that is not voters education, is the campaign message. If that is it, if you tell me that is campaign message, it is okay. That means we are being honest, because part of why we are here is to be upfront, sincere to our audience, and educate the people on the reality and not be deceptive in the way that we communicate with them. And that's the reason why, in order to protect the integrity of this platform that a lot of Liberians around the world appreciate and value, I thought to not allow them to go through that. Just to make
Lofa, we on Lofa, like I said, we on radio. You can
I just want to make it clear.
No, you can do your disagreement behind the scene. If you think it's something that you disagree, you can go in chat room, text me, and say, look, I don't like it, and we talk about it. But to waste airtime, folks are there to waste airtime. I think it's totally unnecessary. But let's move on and let's play this thing.
Okay.
Read is after the listeners at Prime FM. I wanted to talk briefly about the importance of the upcoming elections and why you should all exercise your right to vote freely and peacefully. The United States, as a longstanding partner of Liberia, takes these elections seriously. We are committed to helping make them free, fair, and peaceful. That is why, as you are all aware, our Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, recently announced that we will impose visa sanctions on anyone who undermines Liberia's democratic process. United States visa restrictions are one tool that can be used to hold accountable anyone who disrupt your elections. For you, the Liberian people, the voters of this country, have the two most powerful tools in the electoral process: your voice and your vote. First, use your voice. Talk to your friends and family about the future of your beloved Liberia. Think about where you want to be in 6, 12, and 20 years from now. Listen with an open mind to the various candidates and what they have to say. Vote for those who have the best plans for your family's future and the capability to lead Liberia toward that future. Democracy can be messy. Candidates should compete for your vote. That's the way it's supposed to be. However, in every society, there are always a few people who use elections to start rumors, spread misinformation, or engage in even worse things like hate speech and violent rhetoric. The recent tragic loss of lives in Lofa shows us that terrible things can happen when people turn to violence. That is why we must always condemn violence. The best way to do that is not by amplifying hateful messages, not retweeting, reposting, or publishing on social media or other platforms that the perpetrators of violence say or do. Above all, reject calls for violence and remember, the best way to resolve your differences is peacefully through the ballot box. And second, I urge all of you to exercise the most valuable power that any democracy offers its people, your right to vote. Your vote is your ticket to the future you want for yourself and your family. Don't squander that very important right by not voting. Go vote and make your voice heard through the ballot box. Like you, the United States looks to the National Elections Commission as the electoral authority, and from the official results for the official results of the election. It is important that people get their information from official sources. As one of your oldest and one of your closest international partners, we wish Liberia and all its citizens free, fair, and peaceful elections.
Her name is Madam Catherine Rodriguez, and she is the Chargé d'Affaires and the officer in charge of the U.S. Embassy here in Monrovia. And you listen to their strong-worded statement, peaceful statement issued by the U.S. government, articulated by her ahead of Liberia's elections, with precisely 4 more days to Liberia's elections. And it's right here on Prime FM 105.5. My name is Kelvin Demi. This program is also relayed on Prime TV and Punch TV, respectively. And so we'd like to say again, welcome, Madam Rodriguez. I'd like to take cue in from the statement issued. You talked about the peaceful elections, cautioning Liberians ahead of the elections, how they should conduct themselves. By now, we should, as Liberians, know exactly, with all of the explanations and campaign messages, we should now know who to vote for on October 10, Tuesday next week. And you're cautioning all parties, all sides, in making sure that they conduct themselves responsibly, because the U.S. government is having an eye on these elections. You are very interested into these elections peacefully and fairly. You also talked about the visa restrictions. We will ask you questions about visa restrictions, and on the sidelines, I intend to ask you other issues. But again, it's my pleasure having you here. And I'm concerned about, especially around the elections, what does the U.S. government think about the incident in Foya, Lofa County, quite recently?
Oh, Kelvin, we put out a statement on social media basically condemning the violence, providing our sympathy to the families affected. And there is no place for violence in an election. If you have differences, you take it up in the ballot box. That's where your vote counts.
I know that the ruling establishment is concerned about the violence meted against two of its members who lost their lives. And so there was a statement issued, I'm quite sure, to the U.S. government and, of course, the United Nations about 2-3 days ago. What is your position on the ruling establishment or the government's position on the concerns about the loss of lives?
Look, we urge all the political parties to adhere to the commitments that they made at the Farmington River Declaration. They committed to free, fair, and peaceful elections. You know, it's up to the nation's political leadership and those who aspire to lead that they must refrain from engaging in inflammatory rhetoric or supporting acts of intimidation. Violence has no place in a democratic society.
Does the U.S. government call for an investigation, an impartial investigation?
My understanding is that the LNP is looking into the matter, and we have to let the investigation run its course.
All right. So now, still around the elections, Liberians specifically, critics and political pundits are concerned about this news coming from the National Elections Commission about going to an election, and the voter registration card, the VR card, would not be punched. You can't tell us what about what is the U.S. government's position on that? There are suspicions of cheating, as critics, they've put it, that no, we can't go to the elections and our voter registration cards are not punched, and these are concerning matter arising from the critics' point of view.
Excellent question. Before we started, I told you I was at the National Steering Committee for yesterday, and this question arose. What we were told is the cards were made to be used constantly, and the system has changed. Your card is tied to you and where you should vote, your precinct. So when you go to your polling station to vote, your name should be on that list. That's the only place your name should appear. So it's not necessary to punch the card because your name will only appear in one place, wherever you originally registered. Also, the NEC will be coming out, they advised us yesterday, of additional information to make the public aware of this. The new cards were never intended to be punched.
Okay, Robert, you heard that.
Mm-hmm.
The Americans are saying it's not necessary. The Unity Party is saying, they are saying they will go all hell. They call it cheating, they call it this, but the Americans are saying it's not necessary. Thank you, Jackie. You hear, you listen to it. They are saying it's not necessary. They agree with NEC. They would NEC on that. With the Unity Party finding all kind of avenue just to bring confusion and other stuff. You listen to the American, Robert, weighing on that.
Look, I'm glad that, and mind you, I do not believe in this. I normally call it the white savior, right? This is what we believe in. We don't listen to logic when it's coming from one of us. But we see logic, plenty of logic, in when a person like the acting ambassador speak on these issues. But I think that and it's sudden that I don't have my phone to go on, because I think Nick posted something and specifically spoke on that, where they talk about uh, the card being scanned, the code in the back that specifically attach the voter, and I think they touch on a lot of different things, and some of the other processes that they have put in place as far as the ink that they're going to use uh, to each voter who cast their ballot. But I'm convinced now that I don't think this is an issue. I don't think this is an issue. And one thing that really caught my attention was the fact that one card per person, and your name only being on a specific list to where you initially registered to vote. So let's break this down. Let's assume that I have my card and my name was on the list in the area where I registered to vote. That list will be pre-printed and given to the folks at the polling station. As you go on there to register to vote, they're going to verify and make sure that your name is on that list. If your name is not on that list, they will not allow you to go and cast any ballot. And so, if your name is on the list and you have voted, they will use the ink and the mark to indicate that you've already cast your ballot. So, if you use that particular card to go to a different precinct to attempt to vote twice, if your name is not on that list at the precinct in which you went to after leaving the precinct where your name is listed, how are you going to be allowed to vote? How are you going to be allowed to vote? It's not like it's not possible, but I think this process, from my understanding, right? I think this process should be enough. Which is why it's important that every party has a poll watcher represented, because these poll watchers are there to ensure that each vote or every vote is accurately accounted for. They will be supervising the information as they come alive, right? Look, there are margin of errors. There are things that could still possibly happen. I get it, but from a larger scale, I don't understand how piercing the hole in this card actually prevent people who wants to go out there and cheat the system. And by the way, our laws are very clear. This should be a crime. If you attempt to vote twice, there should be a crime where people are actually are persecuted for. And it's not something that we should take lightly. But I think that the Unity Party, and I hope that the Unity Party will be at least satisfied with this explanation, because again, from all indications, not too many of the other parties and international observers have this particular concern that the Unity Party have.
Okay, Jackie, let me bring you in. Your party out there going to the Supreme Court, making noise all over social media, want the voter card to be punched. And the Americans are saying it's not necessary. Um, Logical people are saying it's not necessary because it's going to be used again. It's going to be used as a form of ID. And I want you to come in, on that. Are you disagreeing with the what the Americans are saying? Are you disagreeing with NEC? You disagreeing with logical minds? Or the Unity Party are the only people that see that they're making sense here? Because all sides are saying it's not necessary. Why the Unity Party think only them think that they are making sense in this situation?
I got to take care of something real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. Same question to you, Lofa.
Thanks again, Kev. I like how you keep emphasizing why the Unity Party. You're not going to Liberia with Uncle Boycott when you still right.
Yeah, because the reason, Lofa, but everybody not making noise. The Americans went there, they did an investigation, they came out, they say it's not necessary. This is the acting ambassador. It's not just somebody from and the embassy. The acting ambassador say it is not necessary. So, but the Unity Party are pushing this narrative in order to cause chaos. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna speak to this into context, and I tried yesterday to speak to this from a technological perspective, taking into consideration what I believe at the time would have been the technology that is possibly being utilized. I noticed spoke of the card that is gonna get either punched and everything else. And so my concern was, why is it that they are now diverting from that aspect of it? But from what I just listened to, what I just listened to that was stated by the what you call it, the ambassador, I think they are utilizing what we would consider the UUID, is the Universal Unique Identifier. Okay, something similar to what is used with your social security card in the United States. Nobody can have the same social security number, if that is what is being stated here. So there is no reason, just like when you apply for your job and they ask you for your social security card, they just do the verification of your social security card, right? They don't tell you, okay, we have to mark your social security card because you apply here for job, or so that you can't come back, or when you get terminated. No, that doesn't happen because that is unique to you. And in this case, when database administrators create the database, they utilize this as a key. Okay, so you have that unique identifier, just like it is tied into a specific location. If I'm voting in Lofa County, okay, what is going to do? That is tied in specifically to that location. No matter what I do, if I decide to go to Monrovia and vote in Monrovia, it's going to air it out. Because when it airs out, that tells me that that location, I cannot vote at that location, and that signal out several other things. And it also has something in it based on what I listened to. I think they're also utilizing what we call the sympathetic ink. The sympathetic ink, as compared to what is often used, is one that actually you put on your finger and it takes a few seconds. You don't see that anymore. Okay, we refer to it as the sympathetic ink, but it is still there. If they dare attempt to go and vote at another location, guess what's going to happen? They can still utilize the infrared technology where the light is pointed at it, you can still be signal out as to whether you did a vote at a specific location, and that is not going to happen. So if that is really what we are listening to, if that will be implemented to the core, then I think we should be okay. But again, we are utilizing technology here. Technology was made by men, okay? And as human, it is expected to maybe error at times. There will be error in the system, and that's why you have to leave room for some kind of error, some kind of mistake, whatever the situation is. But I honestly think that based on what I just listened to, the ambassador say, I think it's okay that we just trust the system. Now, going forward to what was stated, there was something specific that was mentioned in her during her deliberation that a lot of Liberians, I hope, would take into consideration, right? And that is what we speak to. We talk about specifically. We are speaking about the word that was mentioned, squander. All right. She cautioned Liberian, okay, to not squander this opportunity. And if you listen to her during her deliberation, she highlighted that part based on her tone of voice. You listen to her, she said, do not squander, highlighting the statement from the previous vice president, President Joseph Numa Boakai, whom a lot of Liberians today, in quotation, refer to as their major in chief of squandering, or Mr. Squanderer. And again, thinking of our relationship with the United States and everything else that they have advised against, having to consider that particular statement for whatever reason. There are so many adjectives in the dictionary that could have been used. The fact that they selected or elected to use squander tells me something. Liberians must be very careful what we're doing. Look at the back of Honorable Boycott. Honorable Boycott is in bed with the notorious murderer Prince Johnson today, sleeping peacefully. The United States warned us about having to do businesses with people who are sanctioned. Honorable Boycott, in the face of our allies, said, I don't care what you say. I'm still going to get in bed with Prince Johnson and butt naked and other people. I don't care. So when these, again, I'm being sensitive to the fact that this is being highlighted. And in recent cases where Honorable Boycott, in her statement, she also said leaders, political leaders, should refrain from using inciting statements. Honorable Boycott was one of those people who actually stood at the pulpit and spew out words that we would consider, again, in so many ways inciting. I don't think it was meant, again, it's not meant specifically for the Unity Party, but in general, based on my just listening, lawman idea and understanding of what was stated, I think a lot of that, the Unity Party should take be caution about this. And again, they should take cue of it, because everything that I listened to, a lot of the arrows are going in that direction. A little bit coming towards us, those of us in the media and the general population. But I think Honorable Boycott and his entourage should pay keen attention. Definitely not forgetting the CDC, because it is the CDC and that of the Unity Party that going about with the violence and everything else that is coming on. So you guys should pay keen attention.
Okay, look, Jackie, they are saying that if you are going to polling station, you take your ID according to the voter education we just watched, match your name that on the paper, right? On the voter roll, they'll match your name. If your name not there, even though you have ID, you will not vote, so they got to match it. So they're saying it's not necessary. Come in and see, tell us from the Unity Party point of view why they are making all this noise on this issue. What, like I said, logical minds, people went there tonight, they did the investigation, they say it's not necessary. Why the Unity Party is still making noise? You muted.
Kev, you want to call it noise, that's up to you. Yes, the reality, and we'll keep putting the constitution up so the Liberians, according to our law, Article 10, every single 5.2 million Liberian, even the baby, supposed to have one of these so that they understand the laws. Also, NEC has rules and regulations that have been signed off by the administration. The United Party goes by this constitution and goes by the rules and regulations according to NEC that have been signed off and approved, that guide those rules and regulations, guide the National Election Commission. So every filing that was done, even from the very beginning by CPP and by other political parties, including Tiawan Gongolo, who has also filed claims to the Supreme Court. The Campaign Alliance is not the only one. So let us not make it seem as though the UP Campaign Alliance is the only group or set of people that have filed claims here. We also meet the political leaders, also have what they call an IPPC. There's political parties committee meeting that's held with NEC on a regular basis. If there's anything that seems contrary to the rules and guidelines that even guide NEC, a political party has a right, or not one or multiple political parties, or all the political parties in the opposition, including the current position, because the current position, CDC is also a candidate. CDC government term is up. The 6 years up. It finished. So George Weah, although he's the current president, he is also a candidate. So even if there's something that George Weah does not agree with or CDC does not agree with, CDC also has a right to file a claim and take it to the Supreme Court. All of them do. All the political parties do. So let us not make it seem as though this is wrong. It is the right thing to do when you
Jackie, I want to stay with you. I want to stay with you and ask you a question. I want to stay with you. I saw you put out the Constitution. For educational purpose, I want you to help Lofa, Julius, and Robert, and the others. I want you to help them. Please, let's show where in that Constitution that or NEC where they're saying that they should punch the
Keff Hassan, you heard me say the Constitution. You heard me say NEC rules and guidelines.
Yeah. Can you just show us? Yeah, help us because this show.
Okay, you tell me I should look for punch hole in the Constitution.
Because the question I ask you, and you
basic rules and guidelines for NEC and the political parties in here.
Logical
minds, 9 of our Constitution.
Yeah, logical minds went there, including our partners.
Okay, you asking about the puncture. You asking about it.
You put up the Constitution. So I'm just asking you now. To educate us,
in NEC, I'm answering your question.
We don't want to go out there and making noise and say, this, and somebody come and say, it's in the Constitution or it's in NEC rule.
Keff,
us educate us.
Keff,
where can we find out?
I got you. Here it is. NEC just had by elections recently. Everything the piercing or puncturing of a voter registration card, it is part of NEC's rules and regulations. It's there.
Which
it's
election?
On the website.
Which election? It's a different election.
The 2017 election, the 2011 election.
But the biometric is not existent. So
listen,
it was just
that's a different election.
Listen, what I'm saying is
I'm asking
the same rules and regulations that guide these by-elections up to last year. It's the same rules and regulations, so it's on NEC's website.
Now we can ask questions if we want clarity.
I've gone through it in NEC's rule and regulation. The manual, because up until this year, we've been manual. Our system, when you go up register to vote is manual. This year, 2023, for this general election, it is also manual. So it is on that premise, and NEC rules and regulations said if you're doing manual voting as part of the several verification steps to ensure a free, fair, and transparent electoral process, a voter registration card presented where the voter has already voted, the card will be punctured. It is in NEC rules and regulations.
Jackie, can I ask?
NEC is saying that, listen, we purchased a new system this year that's supposed to help to automate and speed up the process for efficiency, which is called the BVR, biometric voter registration process. But listen, we all know, people who got some idea of IDR technology knows that normally when you go to a vendor and you purchase a system, that system may have several different steps to it, or what you call modules, meaning it got different components to it. The National Election Commission only purchased one small portion of that entire big system that exists. What it did, they purchased, and they didn't even purchase the full system for the voter registration process. They purchased a portion of it. Yesterday, a few days ago, Davietta Brown Lasana said in her own words that we did not have $90 million to purchase what we needed even for election day. And this is the reason why the system will be manual on election day.
Jackie, point.
So the opposition is saying if it will be manual, then go back to the basics and have the voter registration card punched. So as part of your various steps, your several steps of voter verification to prevent any fraud of duplication on voting day. Now, the FRR, the final registration roll, has been presented to the political parties. Unfortunately, it was not presented on the 17th to give political parties a fair chance to do their due diligence and check the final roll and come back to NEC in time. The political parties were just giving that FRR a few days ago. Some of them, I don't know if all of them have even gone through it to come back to NEC. But for the campaign alliance that has gone through it and saw some duplicates there, and by this time, the FRR, there shouldn't even be any duplicates there. But you got duplicates there. So that's why, as another added step to help us have a fair, free, and transparent election, they said, but then let's go back to the manual, because it's manual anyway. On election day, the voters are going via manual. It's just that they're showing our card, but there is nothing biometric. There's no biometric verification on election day. You're showing your card, they're looking in the book to see if you're there. But if there happens to be a duplicate over there, somewhere on one of the FRR, whether it Grand Jury or anywhere, what stops that person from leaving and going somewhere else to go vote?
Okay.
But the first thing you see, if you leave one polling place to the next, and you present your card, if that card was punched, the first thing the national election officer or any observer standing around will see the person in the line, oh, the man card already punched. Then what he doing standing in the line? But if he goes somewhere, who will know? Nobody will know. The only thing that will help to stop that process, unless the place he goes, his name doesn't show up on that FRR. But if there happens to be any duplicate and that person go to that place and he need there, they will not know that polling place will not know that person left from somewhere to go vote earlier in the day.
Okay.
So it's just an extra step of verification.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Welcome, Councillor Yakula, to the closing argument. The argument punching the voting card.
And in reference to
Jackie, you will come back to you. Lofa Julius, I think Lofa Julius will want you ask you questions so you can explain. Go ahead, Lofa.
Before I ask,
go ahead, Lofa.
In reference to the U.S. ambassador, I heard Keff what he said. The U.S. ambassador did not say.
We'll come back to that. Let's stick to the.
No, but quickly, the U.S. ambassador was referencing what Ned told her. She didn't say this is what the process should be. She can never interfere in that.
Okay.
She said when we went to NEC, because the political parties have a concern, when we met them, this is what NEC told us. That's what she said.
Okay, Lofa, I think you should just go and say what you want to say because you go back.
Let me just say
Yakula needs to come in. So
let me just say a couple things here. Hopefully, we can correct some of the information that are being presented out there. When an institution decides to purchase a system, the system can be purchased. The functionality, certain aspects of that system, okay, may not be.
Let me unlock your backdrop. Sorry, Lofa.
That's cool. May not be available because of financial constraints. So you cannot say the system was not purchased at all. The system can still function to some extent. So you can still utilize the what we call the sympathy prints on the finger. You can utilize the UUID aspect of it. That works to some extent. But if you want the entire thing, such as even to the extent where you can have information readily available via the web, where the minute somebody vote, information are being published on the web and accessible only by members who are identified, NEC members, all of those functionality, we may not have had the money to purchase it. We cannot say we did not purchase the system and the system is not available. Is it in full functionality? That's a different thing. And this is something that we probably will have to look into. To what extent does the system work? And this is something that can be upgraded. I think it was clearly made that, hey, this is change in progress, right? We're gradually working towards change in Liberia, changing the way we vote. Hopefully, again, we will identify places that we need to patch, and then we can apply the needed patches and move on. And eventually, we will probably upgrade to something far better than what we have today. But let us not just simply just trash out the fact that this system exists, we can use it, and we can also provide the needed support for it. Again, we will be available to make the needed adjustments. And secondly, Jackie, I heard you. I lost my train of thought because Keff Hassan, I didn't write this down because I just wanted to speak.
You can get it. So we Yakula go. Let me give Lami his opening. Then will Councillor Yakula come back? She will do an opening.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, thank you guys. I think it's a good opportunity again to continue the closing argument in these closing days of the electoral process. I mean, I thought that we had laid to rest this issue of puncturing the voters' card yesterday. I thought we laid that thing to rest. But hearing Jackie talk about it again, made me to I'm actually working on a report, but I said no, let me come online and talk about this thing.
I mean, there was a video presented and Keff asked about it.
What's more? The only way someone can use the voter card twice, before even puncture. Let's assume that nobody puncture it. The only way someone can use it twice is if that person is on the voter roll twice with that same ID number. Wait. With that same ID number, No, but it's not likely. It's not likely that someone will be on a voter roll twice with the same ID number, especially in two different polling centers. It's not likely. The people who did double or triple registrations, they went and registered multiple times and they got multiple cards. So if you puncture one of those cards, it doesn't stop that person from going and take the second card and voting again, and taking a third card and voting again. So it's not the issue of whether the card is punctured. It's an issue of whether there are duplications on the roll. if there are duplications on the roll, that's a simple issue to solve. And NEC has told us that they deduplicated the roll, right? The people who did multiple registrations. So except maybe we are saying that they were so careless and they put someone on the roll more than once with the same ID number. If that's what we're saying, it's easy for us to determine that. No, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's easy for us to determine that because we have the voters roll. So to determine that other one is easy is the matter of looking for duplications of similar ID numbers. That's the only thing.
Okay,
that,
so
let
me stick with me small. Stick with me small.
Yeah, let's do that.
You it's always in cases like this good to list out all possible scenarios and you say, okay, what do we do about this? What do we do about that? So let's stick to the scenario where the data center, the people who put the final FRR together, somehow left a voter name that's in precinct A, the same information his card, and carry it to precinct A in another county, and that person drive to that other county. His card.
How would that person know? No, how would that person know that they are in two different? Yes, your point here is that the people responsible for the voter roll made an error by putting this person in two places, right? That what you just said. So how would that person know that they are in two places? That's the other part of the scenario you got to answer also.
That's the other part, but you never know if at all there's somebody. These things, look, the phone duplicates.
They mean that something serious has to happen, right?
Duplicates inside the system. You realize that, right? You realize
no, somebody inside the system. We're talking criminality now. We're talking criminality now. Somebody inside the system has to tell the person.
That's another scenario you can look at.
But Jackie,
listen. When people are fighting crime, listen. When people are fighting crime, you gotta think like somebody out there who may be able to collude or do anything. So they're so simple that they say, okay, as an extra step, what is wrong with punching the card? I mean, this thing is no brainer because when you go over all possible scenarios, including collusion, possible collusion, or whether it's deliberately done or mistakenly done, you got to, this thing you're talking about democracy. It's not something to play with. It's not something to say, it's not going to happen. It's not a position logically.
Lammy, can I just
the collusion part is a worrying part. That's the part I think I will agree that is the part that stands out that something has to be done about. But then you know what that suggests is that it suggests that there's a fundamental issue of distrust. The way it suggests. But it suggests that we so much distrust the people who run our systems that we are prepared to start thinking, to start bringing ourselves into the people.
Okay, guys. I want to bring Councilor Yakula.
Let me just say this, right? Jackie, the punching of the card only serves as an authentication mechanism. You're also utilizing the sympathy print on the finger. So what is it?
Your print does not work on election day.
Not what is being used as per what was stated and what I know about this technology. You cannot simply remove. First and foremost, how will you remove it when you don't even see it?
It can be removed. It can be removed, Julius. It can be removed easily. It can be removed easily. You argue that all over. It can be removed easily.
What are you arguing about? I'm telling you, remove it.
Lofa. Okay. Councilor Yakula.
I beg you, Mayor Lofa. We've been in this here for a long time too.
Lofa, you guys
process too for a long time too. I know why I'm talking.
It can be removed. The indelible thing is not indelible. It
can be removed.
Guys.
But we're not going to talk about it too much.
Jackie.
Yeah.
Councilor Yakula, come in and give your openings.
Right back.
Give your openings.
Well, it's just good to be back on the show. And sorry, I had to laugh because I see every time I come on, Jackie can leave. But
she running away from you.
no, it's okay. I think we should get into the conversation really. The yelling, the screaming, the back and forth.
Do you have anything to talk about the
It's not
question
appealing
of
to
the
me today.
photo card? Do you have anything? Because based on the acting ambassador today, she said it was not necessary because you got to match the name and the ID. You cannot vote twice. And she get it. She understand that and all that stuff. But the Unity Party calling uh, for that, they go into the Supreme Court. You as a lawyer, do you have anything to say about that?
Well, I'm glad you asked me as a lawyer and not as any representation of the CPP because the CPP has not, I guess, taken a position on it. But I think as a lawyer, you really want to look at the legality of the NEC's actions, and I'm not sure how not perforating the card is illegal. I think let me stress the point already. The We have done that in the past as best practice, but I don't think it's required or mandatory to perforate the cards. That there are other countries that conduct elections and don't perforate voter cards. And I think the difference, though, is the voter cards we currently have in these elections, they're quite different from the ones we used to have before. The previous ones were more plastic, like laminated plastic. These ones are like ID cards. So I think even the machine, the perforator, wouldn't be able to perforate those cards unless they have a special kind of machine that can perforate those kind of hard um, ID cards because it looks like a state ID.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming that's why the neck has not been able to have those cards perforated, especially since they were done biometrically. So the ID number, as well as other features, are in the system. But in terms of perforation being a legal requirement, it is not. So from the legal standpoint, I mean, again, the courts are in the best position to
This fact.
interpret the law and to say what the law is. And maybe they could interpret it as mandatory or as a legal requirement, but I don't see how perforation is a legal requirement.
Okay. Uh, Robert, you went on this right on the I think you talk about. Let me ask you this question. I want to change subject things you hear. I don't know if you have any idea about what's going on, but there's something going on. A message that I don't know. I think it's a WhatsApp text or some information I'm seeing around Facebook talking about some kind of arrangement between the CPP. It's from John Molu. Arrangement between the CPP and Madam Ellen. Some kind of what I would say is some kind of arrangement that you guys are arranging to to turn the country into some kind of chaos. You're planning a chaos that Mr. Cummings will be interim president. That Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is arranging. She talked to her partners and everybody around, including the European, and they are calling for collaboration with the CDC. Do you have any knowledge about that? It is true that the CPP and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf are making some arrangement to put our country into chaos in order for Mr. Cummings to be interim president. That statement we saw coming from John Molu. Can you speak on that? It is true.
Kev,
I'm sorry. I don't. I was asking Madam Yakula. I'm sorry, Robert.
Okay,
Sorry,
okay.
Yakula, make it clear because I want because she's the chief of staff of Mr. Cummings. She front row seat official of the CPP because they accused Mr. Cummings and Ellen Johnson, so including Madam Madina Wizard name was there. I'm asking, you muted.
I said, and Mirabro.
And Mirabro also. So can you speak
Sorry,
on
don't
that?
let me use my teeth on national radio. But I think just having the conversation is irritating. It's very upsetting because it is very dangerous and desperately dangerous for an opposition party to make such accusations against another opposition party, and not any opposition party, but a former ruling party that has been on the record for spewing violence, for threatening war, threatening Arab Spring, threatening end of Liberia, when they claimed that the CDC will rig these elections. For John Molu, who was appointed by the Unity Party as its fundraising chair for the campaign, to even write and circulate such message to several persons yesterday or this morning speaks to the desperation of the Unity Party and the fear of the Unity Party, of the CPP. There is absolutely no truth to it. It is ridiculous. It is preposterous. It is downright evil. And this has been the MO of the Unity Party. But what I found interesting was the Unity Party that calls the CPP an auxiliary of CDC is now calling on the CDC to collaborate with them. And this is not the first time the Unity Party and the CDC have collaborated. Let's be clear. The Unity Party and the CDC government collaborated to bring bogus charges against Mr. Cummings before. So it's sweet in the mouth. And that's why now they're calling on the CDC to collaborate again to come up against Mr. Cummings for a bunch of lies about tying him to interim. Mr. Cummings has been one of the most peaceful candidates, and the most peaceful of the top three. Mr. Cummings has consistently called for peace. Mr. Cummings has led a peaceful, orderly campaign. He's never wanted to threaten the peace of this country. First of all, Mr. Cummings does not need to be interim president. Mr. Cummings does not need to be president desperately, like others who know that this is their last try. Why would you want interim government? Why would you want to bring chaos and conflict and war if you don't win an election in 2023 when you could run again in 2029 if you chose to? The only person in these elections who cannot run in 2029, even if they want to, is the Unity Party's candidate. And so clearly, this is a projection from the Unity Party on the CPP. This is what they've been planning all along. This is why they've been threatening our peace and stability. This is why they've been saying that the CDC is going to rig and they're going to bring war and there's going to be Arab Spring. And it's interesting that now the very Unity Party is calling on the CDC to collaborate with them. I've never heard of an opposition party calling on a ruling party to collaborate. And so this tells you that either they're scared, they have nothing in these last days to bang on. They clearly have not been able to raise money for the poll watching, and so they're not going to be able to have poll watchers at all these polling stations. There's still, in fact, that very message at the end of the message ended with John Molu begging for people to pay, make donations towards the poll watching. And so that tells you that if you're going to go beg for money for people to help you pay for poll watchers, go with another story. Don't carry lies and propaganda against Mr. Cummings. It's been consistent. And when people say, oh, the CPP has been attacking the Unity Party, it's because the CPP is reciprocating something that the Unity Party has done consistently over the last 2 years. Constantly attacking Mr. Cummings, constantly dragging his name in the mud, constantly lying on him, constantly bringing all these bogus charges and accusations against him, constantly over and over and over again. The Unity Party has done this, and then they will call for opposition unity because they believe it only benefits them. I said it the last time. Opposition unity died long ago, and in fact, a week ago, and it was buried. But the point of the matter is what John Molu wrote and circulated. It's evil. It's ridiculous, it's dangerous, it's a bunch of lies, and it speaks to the kind of person he is as an individual and the kind of party the Unity Party is as an institution.
Okay. Welcome to the closing argument, Mr. Jerome Gibbon. I think your first time on the closing argument, so welcome. I guess you should know everybody on this platform. Let me bring you in. Lamin, I'm not sure if you read John Molu post today talking about this incident. I don't know, but you listen to Councillor Yakula, so I want you to come in on that.
I mean, I didn't read a post, but going by what you just said, going by what you just said, yeah, I don't understand whence he came and what he's trying to talk about when he says that someone is trying to push for an interim governor and stuff like that. I don't know how that is going to work. We have a constitutional process in place. So even if there is no, even if the electoral process doesn't go to the point of consummation, it makes no sense to talk about interim government because we have a constitutional process already that should kick in. The reason why our government is structured in a way is structured where there will always be 15 senators that will remain in office for 3 years beyond the tenure of any president. Is to avoid a situation of having an extraneous interim government. So if you have to have an interim arrangement, it has to be as per the constitution. And that constitutional interim arrangement will have to be led by a senator. That's what it will have to be. So I don't understand why someone will know that such a process already is on the books, and then they will be talking about something else. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't think we dignify that kind of talk.
Okay.
There are more things to talk about in his last few days of the electoral process. We need to let our people to know that the future of this country is at stake, and they need to make real sound decisions in making sure that we put our country back on track. This country has lost 18 years. 18 years. If you took 18 years from any of our ages, that's a significant amount of time. We can't continue to be wasting more time. So we have to put these kind of talks in our rear view mirror, not pay attention to them, and talk to our people to make sure that they put things on track. That's as much as I would say about that.
Okay. The reason, first of all, let me say this. From the CDC point, we will not have any collaboration with the Unity Party with their story, because they are very good at bringing up a story that is not factual, and they are the one who trying to put our country into some stage of bringing chaos into this staging all those things. So we will not be with them because we don't have any idea what is they're talking about. What we are preaching peace. Go to the ballot boxes and then vote. We will vote for our leader. So Unity Party they are on their own. Wherever they always come up with all those noise. So Robert, you listen to Mariah, you listen to what I said. I want you to weigh in on John Molu a statement that he put out today, talking about the CPP planning violence, chaos. The order for Mr. Cummings to be the interim president. That's what the Unity Party, John Molu, is saying. Is coming from the Unity Party, an official of the Unity Party. Can you just weigh in on that?
I don't know why, and Lami is an attorney. He's a lawyer, and I'm not, and I don't know. Maybe lawyers look at things differently from the Liberian perspective, but I kind of frown on how Lami don't want us to address anything. Period. Like, I mean, I understand you can't dignify certain things, but these are very critical times in our country, and literally just few days to these elections, 4 days to the elections, and I thought that us talking about and strongly condemning comments that were made by Prince Johnson, I thought was as equally important as trying to clear the air with regards to these dangerous Romans, right? And I thought that that's what Mariah did. And so the fact that you don't want us to talk about these things, I mean, I don't know, but my respects to you. That's your right. But if you allow me, Kev, before I even mention, can we mute ourselves because I'm hearing the feedback? I'm not sure. Someone just came
Yeah,
in.
can we mute ourselves? Josephus, can you mute yourself? Can you mute yourself, Josephus?
Yeah, I think it's coming from him.
Hearing you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So just quickly, if you allow me, let me read what the anti-fraud mechanism from NEC, and I thought it was important because not a lot of us are looking online. Let me just read this real quick, and I think that they address this right. The current VR cards are readable cards. Scan QR code, and they got the website right there that contain your personal information, your voting precinct, polling place, and page within the FR where you can be found. The idea of puncturing the VR card has the propensity to destroy the card and make it unreadable, error prone, thereby destroying the security features embedded in the VR card. Other security features are embedded in the card that prohibit puncturing. The current VR cards are made of high quality PVC, which means that they're not made of paper or cardboard or plastic material and are intended to last longer than the previous card made of paper and plastic. The final registration roll with allocated voters for each polling place are specifically printed and delivered to the respective polling places for elections day. Voters are required to produce voter registration cards to vote. Voters need to be found in the FRR to be able to vote at a given polling place. In cases where voters are not found on an FRR, they will not vote. However, exception is given to election security officers on duty at the center, polling staff, and others as defined in the polling procedures. I just thought to read that because I think NEC, as time goes by, are posting very important information. And again, they talk about this indelible, inerasable ink that is used, and people can question what into question. But I thought that was important because if you read that, for those who think that NEC does not have a mechanism in place, we may have disagreements to that mechanism and the effectiveness of it, but they do have a mechanism in place that has been disseminated to all parties and what have you. But with regards to your question about this Roman about interim president, one I think is laughable. Two, I think is not feasible. And three, I think that is bogus. Is completely nonsense, right? Look, every comment that has been made have come from the Unity Party. every speculation about a regulation, about a possible cheating, about this, about that, has come from the Unity Party, and uh, clearly there's some insecurity here, right? That they don't believe that they have the numbers to win these elections at the ballot boxes. And I like what the acting ambassador said when he talked about all parties and the government refraining from inflammatory rhetorics, right? If you read the United Nations statement, it talked about speeches that could be considered hate speeches, right? These speeches are coming directly from the Unity Party. I'm not trying to point at a particular party, but we heard Prince Johnson, we heard the former vice president, we've heard Daniel Sando from Senator Lawrence's office. We continue to hear these threats.
General Butt Naked.
General Butt Naked. And if you look at the character of these people that are making these threats, speaks to the fact that this is why I disagree with Lamin. These are things that we must address, and we must send a very clear message to our people and the general public that these hate messages and these threats has no place in our democracy, and these things will absolutely not happen. And this is the reason why I commend the Unity Party for using the court system. You use the court system to take all these comments to court, but I don't. This is a joke. This would never happen. There will be no need for an interim president. We have an election coming up October 10th. Liberians will go to the polls and will vote. And if there's a need for a runoff, there will be a runoff. And so
Okay.
I don't see this.
I'm looking at the time in the studio because the time running so quick. So we're not going to take long on the on and on your comment. So I will go to Lofa. Please let's do 2 minutes because I have to bring the two new people that just joined. So let's do your 2 minute quick so I can come down to Mr. Gamer and just see first.
Thank you. Let me just speak directly to Liberians around the world, specifically in Liberia, for those of you who are preparing yourselves to get out there and vote. Look, listening to the ambassador's statement today, it got me a little bit worried about what is happening in Liberia. Robert just listed several individuals who are in the Unity Party camp. And as of recent, if you have been listening and following the trend of events, the Unity Party, have been heavily involved in statements that literally just encourage any form of violence, starting from the standard bearer, Honorable Joseph Numa Boakai, who made a statement, and I'm sure a lot of you heard that, and you can still remember. All right, threatening to end Liberia. Not only did Honorable Boycott make such a statement, but guess what? He's now actually encouraging former warlords, murderers, and others who have refused to show some remorse for their acts against humanity. The perpetrators of war crimes are now in bed with Honorable Boykai, and he said silently, without condemning all of these things. Your future, the future of your kids is at hand. If you're not concerned about some of these statements, when our greatest ally comes up and say, do not squander, highlighting and emphasizing on that statement, I want to say to you, to my brothers and sisters in the streets, those of us who are referred to as Zogo, I'm talking directly to you. They refer to us as Zogo because they brought the drugs, they gave it to us, and now they're not victims of the situation. Direct code. They tell that direct code when Oman say, this thing here, don't squander that direct code. Unity Party should come nowhere near, the presidency. If Honorable Boycott dare come anywhere close to that, if you don't copy the code, the direct code that the ambassador is sending to you, then you're just selling your future. The Unity Party The CDC should come nowhere close to governance. We should move Liberia forward. And I'm trying to urge all of you listening to this and prepare yourselves for a better Liberia. A better Liberia comes based on the decision you make to elect somebody other than the Unity Party or the CDC. Bring somebody neutral who can unite Liberia, bring us on the right trajectory to move Liberia forward. Honorable Boykai, in his capacity, stand no chance to unite us. If an Honorable Boykai is elected, Liberia will be 4 times more divided than we are today. If you can speak to that, I'm going to say to you, caution-tize your kids. Think of your kids' future and think about yourself. Where we find ourselves today, we don't want to go backward. We want to continue to move forward. Let these 2 individuals, let these 2 groups go somewhere else and organize themselves, and let's move Liberia forward. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Gaiman, sorry for keeping you that long because we are live on the platform. We talk about John Malute. We talk about the acting ambassador statement today. I want you to talk about which one you want to talk about. But I want you to come in. That will include your opinions and everything. I want you to come in and talk about that, the John Molu statement and the ambassador. What the U.S. ambassador said today.
Thank you very much, panelists. Great professional folks. It's an honor to be on here with you. Obviously, what you heard or what you saw from John Molu is a smoke screen. What would be a better way to put the 2 youngest people in the maybe in the political campaign, the most talented, the more resourceful folks in Honorable Cummings and President Weah, put them against each other, come up with some story that will seem as though if you can get them to go lock ahead to fight each other, then while they are fighting, you can do whatever you want to do. But something that is very serious that we should not take for granted was the news that was breaking today in Monrovia, where people within the Elections Commission were caught. The gentleman who is in charge of the data processing, who is in bed with the Unity Party Executive Committee. We have photographs, we have communications that says he has 2 obligations to make sure that voter suppression goes on. That is, those of you who have participated in elections in the United States know what voter suppression is. Those areas where President Weah or the ANC has strongholds, we will manipulate the data that the turnout will wind up being very poor. That means it will take you 2 or 3 times longer to process one voter card in the West Point area as opposed to, let's say, the chicken soup factory area where Joseph Walker may be very popular. So in his area, people will vote at a regular rate. And then those areas where the ANC and the CDC are very popular, there will be so much delay that at the end of the day, all you can say is the turnout in those areas were very poor. So those are the things we need to be looking at. What the ambassador said here, we have been saying it forever. Joseph Boakai is in his future. There is no tomorrow for Joseph Boakai. Joseph Boakai cares less about coming to the United States. Once he gets elected as president, he will be like Buhari. His health issues and everything, he can spend 3 years in London in a hospital at the expense of the Liberian people, just as Buhari did. Just as it just happened in Nigeria with Tinubu. Tinubu got elected and the first month was spent in the hospital. So Joseph Boakai has no future. So when you talk about future, Joseph Boakai has no future. This is it for him. So he say he will end Liberia. Literally, he can do that because there's no tomorrow for Joseph Boakai. So the ambassador is warning Liberians that, listen, this is a great opportunity. You have great young folks in here. You got educated, you got smart folks like the Cummingses, you got the ANC and all of these great folks willing to come and join hands and run their country. And on the other hand, another man is telling the folks, if not me, just like a jealous husband, if I don't have this woman, nobody is going to have her. Kill her, and then eventually killing myself. That's exactly what we're seeing here. So the ambassador, they are telling us, this is your country. And we are doing all we can. Those of you who are on here, you are talking about peace. You are talking about voting. These folks are not talking about either one. Look how you killed somebody in Foya. Killed the man in his house, drag him outside and beat on the dead body. And then up to today's date, Joseph Boyka have not condemned. That tells you about the mindset of these people. I am not concerned about the butt nakeds of the world. Yeah, those could be smoke screen, but we also have to be cognizant of the inside work of people who are capable of doing more damage than those with bottles and cocktail, and a military cocktail and all of that. It's a great time having me on your show for the first time, Kev. I think this is a very serious platform, and these things need to be discussed, and we need to discuss them continuously. Thank you very much.
Okay, let me go to Jackie from there. I'll come to Johnny. You can late. We are winding down because of the time. Is I think is 1 minute after 11 in Liberia, 1 minute after 7 here Eastern Standard Time. So we are not going to take that long because Studio got to go because from this weekend to Tuesday it's going to be long hours, marathon hours. So folks got to get the energy and all that stuff. So Jackie, let me go to you. Oh, there's noise. Somebody noise in the back. Okay, everybody mute. Let me go, Jackie.
Somebody hitting something.
Yeah. Okay. Let me go to you, Jackie. The John Molu statement talking about the CPP and Madam Ellen, trying to bring chaos to Liberia, order for Mr. Cummings to be interim president. I want to know if you stand by that. And also, what Mr. Gaiman talked about, the inside job by the Unity Party, that there's a press conference today about a gentleman who came out talking about the plan, how to suppress voters. We will say that, the guy who call in and say they want to rig, and the other side planning some stuff. And so I want you to talk about that quickly, so we can go to Johnny, and, because we are winding down, because we probably want to take a few calls.
On the issue of the statement by John Molu, I would say this. I think I see here that Medina Wisa was out today, out there very vocal. He stands by his statement. The issue of ANC Cummings and Madam Salif. Darius Dillon was out there a couple of months ago, back I think in March or so, as saying that on the radio that Madam Salif called he and Senator Lawrence to ask for Senator Lawrence to be VP, the running mate to Alexander Cummings. So if Madam Salif was not interfering in this election, if she was not advocating for Alexander Cummings, then why would she be going around looking for a running mate, to the point where they're even trying to get Senator Lawrence, who was massively disrespected and thrown out of her party by Alexander Cummings, to get her to forgive Alexander Cummings to be the running mate. So it's very clear. The evidence is out there. Senator Dillon's talk about it. The evidence is out there. Madam Salif has not one day come out to deny what has been said. So all the evidence out there. Medina Wisa is no secret. She said that she's with, and she's a spokesperson for Madam Salif too. She is with the ANC. So again, Mr. Molu stands by his statement, and if there's nothing being planned by anybody, then we have nothing to worry about. Then we should have a free, fair, and transparent election. In regards to and let Cummings people come out and say no, Madam Salif has never been in their shoe. Let Mr. Alexander Cummings come out and say no, that is not true. Medina Wisa is not with them. Let them come out and say that. In regards to Jerome, everything.
Jackie, I'll stay with you. Let me ask you. So you believe that, from the Unity Party point of view, you believe John Molu, and you believe that the CPP conniving with Madam Ellen to bring violence to Liberia, turn the country into
what I'm saying is.
That's his statement. That's his statement.
He stands by his statement.
What about you? You stand by you believe that statement?
What I am hoping for is a peaceful, fair, and transparent election. We all are hoping for it.
Can you condemn that
statement? Mr. Molu,
can you condemn that statement?
Listen.
Can you condemn that statement?
Mr. Molu,
Jackie,
Keff, you will not
can you
show
condemn
me
that?
how or where to answer a question.
Condemn that statement?
Let me finish, please. What I want to say is that we all are calling, including Mr. Molu, for a peaceful, fair, and transparent election. JMB has been peaceful from day one. Everybody knows that. So for anybody to come, I hear people on this platform saying that the Senator Barrett been saying remarks. Philip Brown, can you condemn Philip Brown's statement here for saying there will be blood in the street? If there's anybody who's being vocal, even some of your people on Freedom FM, why are we not condemning that? When it comes to the UP Alliance, we are calling for peace and calling on the government to make sure that they conduct, because it's the government that's in charge. They're in charge of the security. They're in charge of the police. They're in charge. NEC is part of the government. So everybody is calling on the government to do the right thing. You too, Kev, Lofa Julius, all of y'all should do that. I never heard anybody condemn Philip Brown's statement when he said there will be blood on the street. He's trying to scare, is he trying to scare voters away? That statement there is the most dangerous statement in this electoral period. And you, Kev, should start with you to condemn.
Okay, Jackie, hold on.
I want to hear you condemn it.
I condemn.
Let me go to Jerome Gaiman.
Yes, I condemn him. Can you condemn? Lofa, please. Yes, I condemn Philip Brown.
John Molu said nothing about promoting violence.
Can you condemn?
He said in his statement, he did not promote. He's not promoting violence. He's not calling for violence. Condemn what? What is there to condemn?
You asked me to condemn. I did. Can you condemn?
But your guy Philip Brown is calling for blood. He said there will be blood.
Actually, I'll move on from you. You're not
condemning. 5 seconds.
I'm sorry. There were some ridiculous statements made about something.
2.5 hours. Listen, Mr. Molu said he spent 2.5 hours, according to the article, in a meeting with individuals from Europe and America. So whatever information that was given to him is being put out there. Now, if y'all know the information not correct, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. But what Mr. Molu is calling for is a fair, free, transparent, and peaceful election. If this article is wrong, then what you worry about? For then we shouldn't even be discussing it here today. But when people like Philip Brown is saying there will be blood in the street,
Jackie, mention my name. That's all. I just want to clear it out.
Lofa, please, I will give you a time. Get her do a CPP. I want Mariah.
Let me say. Thank you. Mariah. Thanks. Let me just briefly say a couple of things. It's ridiculous when we sit on the show and use Delon as the standard of truth. Ashim, my mother, Delon.
Thank you.
The same Delon who lied about not riding first class ticket.
Airline
the same
ticket.
Delon who lied that he wasn't going to put fence around his house when he won the elections, and now he got fence around his house. The same Dillon who lied that he wasn't going to take the $52,000 car and now he's riding the $52,000 car. The same Dillon who lied about giving students and these young boys from COP scholarships to go to Morocco to study, and he hasn't given one of them scholarships. The same Dillon who's lied consistently as a senator and in this country. That's the person whose word is the Bible. That's the person who's the basis and the standard of truth. Dillon is a liar. It's proven, it's documented, it's recorded, it's been reported, and Dillon is a liar. The fact remains that Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is a citizen of Liberia. Madam Sirleaf is not involved in Liberian politics because as a recipient of the Mo Ibrahim Award, she's not supposed to be involved in politics. But she's a citizen with a constitutional rights. She can decide who she wants to support or not. That doesn't mean that she supports Alex Cummings. If she were to have a conversation with Yombly about going as vice, when the very Unity Party disgraced Yombly, dashed her after winging her for 2 years and promising her the vice presidency, and at the last minute took it and gave it to Kun, who Prince Johnson said he had been in conversation with for only 5 months with JNB to get the vice presidency for MDR. That's what termed as her supporting Cummings. Madam Sirleaf is a promoter of women involvement in politics. She understands and she understood that only Joelle Howard Taylor would have been the woman on the ticket along with CDC, and she needed more women into politics. And so if she encouraged the Yombly to go as vice to somebody else after Unity Party had disgraced her and dumped her like hot cake, that does not in any way means that she supports Alex Cummings. She could have advised Yombly to go as vice to Gonglo. If Gonglo had offered Yombly the vice presidency, she could have advised Yombly to go as vice to someone else if they had offered the vice presidency to her. The fact that Mr. Cummings offered Yombly the vice presidency was not because for Yombly to forgive him. Are we serious? Or are we just sitting on this platform to make jokes for the Liberian people to laugh before they go to bed? Forgive him for what? What party? When it was the same vice presidency business that Yombly and Dino decided they were going to leave the party and go try their luck with Joseph Boyka, because at the time it was only Yure who was supporting Boyka, and they thought Boyka would not give Yure the vice presidency and you give it to them. What happened? They used them, they destroyed the party, and they dumped them. What Cummings did was to extend an olive branch to say, let's come back together and fix the CPP, which was a Liberty Party. That was a leader who put his own feelings aside, because it was the senior Yombly who sat on national radio and said Cummings should take responsibility for authoring the framework document when there was no evidence or proof that Cummings ever authored framework documents. And you want to talk about forgive who? Let's be serious for a second. This issue of Madam Sirleaf supporting Alex Cummings is something that the Unity Party has consistently used because they believe that Madam, who worked and had Joe Boyka for 12 years as a VP, could not even tell the Liberian people that he was a good fit for the presidency. When your boss, your immediate boss, cannot vouch for you, cannot recommend you for a higher position, it speaks volumes. And because they understand that Madam has not been able to recommend Joseph Boyka for the presidency, that's why they're trying to now pin it on Alex Cummings talking about Madam Sirleaf and Cummings want to bring interim government. And what? And this is supposed to be from another opposition party, and they're the ones who will talk about opposition unity. Look, Kev, the Liberian people have seen right through Unity Party. Unity Party at this point is scared. Unity Party at this point understands and knows that they cannot win these elections. Unity Party is now doing everything possible to cause chaos. They're doing everything possible to ensure that Liberians believe their bubbles they've blown in the air. And unfortunately, we've burst out of those bubbles. October 10th is right here. And the fact that they've not been able to raise funds to pay their poll watchers, and they're not able to protect their votes, quote unquote, is causing serious fear. And so now they're trying to lay the basis for Liberians to turn against Cummings if he ends up in the runoff, or to claim that, oh, he ends up in the runoff because X, Y, and Z happened, when in fact they know and understand that he's also very much situated to be in the runoff of these elections. But this is the same Unity Party who said they'll win on first round victory. What happened to the first round victory talk? Since when? And want to sit on the show and talk about Dillon say Because Delon is Unity, now Unity Party, most campaign chair. Delon, I see my mother, Delon, liar, Delon. I beg you, man, please.
Well, thank God you admitted that Banam Salif tried to get Youngly to go to Alexander Cummings. So that means, of course, she's advocating, and that is
I can
participating
only
in
speak
politics.
English. I don't speak any other dialect.
Yeah, but you just admitted that he did, which is fine, Mariah.
I'm not
But are you
responsible for people's comprehension?
So
I clearly said if Madam Sirleaf spoke to Youngly about going
because
advice
Youngly admitted it.
Cummings,
So
it was because she was
Cummings
pushing
has not
women
come out to
representation,
deny it.
and she would have done it for any other
But he has
candidate.
not come
I
out
don't
to
speak
deny
any
it.
other dialect.
Okay.
I only speak
So let
English, and I'm not responsible
Cummings
for
did
people's
not come out to
comprehension.
deny it, so it's true. And
Can I-
speaking
can I-
about
can I-
honesty, Alexander Cummings has yet to talk about his U.S. passport.
Jackie,
He violated the election code in 2017 and still violating it
Has
today.
Joseph Boyka spoken about his health
So
issues?
if anybody is dishonest
Joseph
as a
Boyka spoken about the
presidential
health issues
candidate, is Alexander Cummings. But let's
Henry
leave that.
Costa raised?
Let's leave that.
You want to talk about honesty? The Derek courts, the Supreme Court of Nigeria, allowed Cummings to contest.
Okay,
You cannot say
Cummings has not come out to deny.
We're not talking about
Cummings
issues
was the
of
one who grossly disrespected Youngly Kanga Lawrence by having her kicked out of her own party and playing
Youngly left her party. She was
a
never kicked
conspiracy
She
against
was never
Youngly
kicked
Kanga
out. She
Lawrence.
left
He
to
came
go
and
try
he
her luck with
divided
Boyka.
Liberty Party. You all want to put it on Unity Party. It was Cummings that divided Liberty Party. Unity Party had nothing to do with that. But
you know
the people
nothing
will
to talk
speak
about.
on October
Nothing
10.
to talk about.
People will speak on October 10. Joseph Newman Boyka will win this election. If you are against interim government, everybody here against it, then all we gotta do is to speak against it. All of us want peace.
Then we should speak against people who are spewing lies. We should speak against people who are spewing propaganda.
He is saying he
because out of
spoke
fear
to
of the
people.
fact that they know
And
they're
that's
not
the
going
information
anywhere.
he's putting out
That's
there.
what
So
we should speak against.
if the information is not correct, then nobody here can.
So Jackie, I should come up and say Jackie is a rogue and she planning on stealing, and then we say, well, that's okay. If you plan on stealing, so that's okay.
No, come on and say the information is not
But
correct.
I'm asking you,
it's not correct,
if I came up and said Jackie is a rogue and she planned on stealing,
if
it
you
shouldn't be
say
it
the
should be okay
information
because
is
Jackie
not
planned on
correct,
stealing.
then all you gotta do is to say the information
it's
that
not-
was
then
stated
that's
in the
okay.
article is not correct.
Because
So
it's not- because it's not
what
true.
is
It's
clear
clearly not true.
is that Ellen tried to
Take
get
charge.
to go as running mate. So Alexander Cummings, which he has never denied up to today. But Jerome Gayman said something, and Keff, you told me to respond to Jerome.
Jackie.
You asked me to respond to Jerome. Let me respond quickly.
Jackie, you will respond. Josephus and Johnny need to come
Okay,
in.
let Josephus talk. Yeah.
Yeah, just let Johnny.
No, but
say something.
Josephus being on here, internet might go off again. So let
Yeah,
him talk
okay.
and then Johnny can
Okay,
talk.
go ahead, Josephus. That's your internet might go ahead and say what you got to. Introduce yourself.
Thank you ever so much. My appreciation to you guys for the kind of brilliant work people are doing. Closing argument. I'm Josephus Tiawan Zoga. I am the National Secretary General of the GMB TAC team and a partisan of the Unity Party.
Okay, go ahead. Weigh in.
Considering the discussion, as Liberians get prepared for
Are you frozen?
I think there's a delay.
I'm on a pause. Kev.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's a delay in the system. That's why.
Can I proceed?
Just keep talking.
Just keep talking. There's a delay, but just keep talking. Don't stop.
Yeah, this election is critical for us.
His system keeps.
Don't talk. When you talk, then it comes a delay to get to him. Then he gets.
Okay, go ahead, Johnny. Go ahead, Johnny.
All right, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so thank you, and thank you all for this conversation. I'm sorry that I had to come on late due to technical problems, but I think these elections are very important, and to the extent that the way issues are going right now, got to be careful before we turn up having an issue of violence with this election. And I understand the point of the Unity Party and the CDC. I mean, currently, the tension of violence that is now brooding in the country is actually between the CDC and the Unity Party. And to hear that, John Moru, one young man that I personally respect to the way he has worked in the past, to come at this point to make a point about there's a plan or there's an intent to have an interim government here. And I would think that from the side of Lino, we have no space to even recognize that kind of statement in Liberia at this time, talking about interim government. In as much as we condemn it, we keep our ears and eyes open to see who are those that are even considering that we should have an interim arrangement here. And to even consider that is between the CDC and the CPP, that tells me that there is something scaring that comes from John Moru, who is also now a part of the Unity Party. You know what I'm saying? And I think the fear that Modu is bringing about and linking him to Unity Party is that because Unity Party has destroyed all of its allies initially from within the CPP, and there's a potential reason to have a second round. And so the second round, of course, if there's by any means a second round between UP and CDC, they are probably preempting that the ANC and the CPP, for example, may likely support Mr. Weah against them. So before coming to that point, they are doing this preemptive strike to begin to tell people that there is a collaboration between the CPP and the CDC. In as much as I am not here to support any of them, but as a Liberian, whatever happens in that process also affects me, my community, my society, and my country. And so I have to speak out. So no one on this platform, no Liberian, should even give ear to Mr. Moru talking about there is a plan or there is a discussion or a conversation about having an interim arrangement in the case of whatever happens. Our Liberian constitution is clear. There's no reason why we have an interim arrangement except the two frontrunners, the two crowd frontrunners decide that they will have a clash, a violence that will honor our democratic process, and which I do not expect any one of them to get involved into. So there's no small semblance of violence coming up in this election because we believe that all the parties, the 20 candidates for presidency, are all for peace, and Liberian people will decide on the 10th. Whoever they decide through the democratic process to be our leader for the next 6 years, we all have to accept it and move forward with Liberia.
Okay, and I'm gonna say sorry to our folks in radio land because of the time. We may not be able to take calls, but let me say this. And the reason I'm gonna play this video because Liberia, we all should take this country seriously. It's not a joke. We all should take this country seriously. And I'm going to play this video. You have seen it. Some folks will say, oh, okay, if you keep playing this video, because the reason I'm doing this, because I want us to take this thing seriously. And we should talk about it again. I know the Unity Party people may not like it, but I will play it because the reason is we don't want to have another nation that you have a leader that something will happen. And let me play it so you guys can let's go and
for you about the election and peace. So thank you for coming. Distinguished Senator, the press.
Welcome, Mr. Former Vice President.
Thank you. I'm not supposed to. Yeah.
Can you guys hear the audio? Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Out? Okay.
Yeah, it's clear. It's clear.
All right. Sorry, I'm gonna start it from the beginning.
For you about the election and peace. So thank you for coming. Distinguished Senator, the press.
Welcome, Mr. Former Vice President.
Thank you. I'm not the one supposed to.
Yeah. More or less just a statement about a statement about these.
So, Ambassador Park, I will speak shortly to the local citizens.
Okay. Gentlemen, I don't have a written statement.
So I supported Joseph Parker, knowing that by 2023 he'll be tired. Okay. Knowing that 2023 he'll be tired, he could have a good heart, everything good, but the brain is going down. You're not holding the end, you're moving down the hill. This is nature.
When we win, then I could be doing the job for you. Can he go everywhere? No. The owner is old. He take Kun to be vice president. When we win, then I could be doing the job for you. Can he go everywhere? No. The owner is old. He take Kun to be vice president. When we win, then I could be doing the job for you. Can he go everywhere? No.
So thank you for coming.
I think it's 1 minute.
Guys in studio, stop playing it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Guys, I want you guys to weigh in.
I think Robert missed that video. Can we play again?
Oh.
He's seen
No,
it. He
I
got
think
it.
it's okay. Robert,
How
many times?
Can we play again? I
I'm-
didn't see it.
No, we're not playing again.
How many times? How many
Thank
times
you.
did I want to play the one video?
Okay.
Wait,
All right, I'll play
Thank
finally
you.
then. Sorry, guys.
Oh.
I really got to run. My son got a football game today. I got to go.
Yeah, it's just
No,
1 minute.
after the video, Lofa, please.
All right.
Okay.
And we come in at 8 o'clock.
So thank you for coming.
Okay. I'm on the closing argument. I'll be on. Okay.
Welcome, Mr. Former Vice President.
Thank you. I'm not the one supposed to.
Yeah.
No, that Jeremiah was supposed to.
About a statement about these.
So, Ambassador Park, I will speak shortly to the local citizens.
Okay. Gentlemen, I don't have a written statement.
So I supported Joseph Parker, knowing that by 2023 he'll be tired. Okay. Knowing that 2023 he'll be tired, he could have a good heart, everything good, but the brain is going down. You're not holding the end, you're moving down the hill. This is nature.
When we win, then I could be doing the job for you. Can he go everywhere? No. The owner is old. He take Kun to be vice president. When we win, then I could be doing the job for you. Can he go everywhere? No.
Okay. Guys, you guys hear everything.
All right.
Jeremiah.
Yeah, let me start, Kev.
Yeah, Jeremiah Kun.
Can Josephus talk before he go off air again? But he never talked before.
Jeremiah Kun said it.
Yes.
Well, because that's the age.
Kev.
You guys can see. You guys can.
Kev, let Joseph talk, please.
So, you can go. You can go ahead, Joseph, for 1 minute because we're about to leave.
Go ahead, Josephus.
Okay. I just want to set the basis. Yes, as we gear towards this critical period of our country electoral process, we just want to speak to the consciences of Liberians out there that, regardless of the many videos that will come out about the boycott, He is the choice of the majority of the people of Liberia. So members of the UP and INS Alliance are gearing up for tomorrow as we prepare to close our campaign and to send a kind of clear message to our international partners and the world at large that we are prepared to make a change. There is nothing at this moment that can sway our minds about electing Ambassador Boycott. He's someone that is trustworthy, honest. He possesses a kind of character that is impeccable. And we just want to say to every Liberian across the nook and cranny of this country that this nation needs to be rescued. And Joseph Newman Boycott and the rescue team are poised on doing exactly what it takes for us to have a country that will be respected on the international scene. So, Keith and the rest of the panelists, it is an opportunity to be on your network. This is just our debut appearance. We look forward as we have barely 3 days to go to the pool in making that critical decision for this nation. Liberia at this juncture needs a kind of leader in Boycott that has no traces of corruption. And it is time that we rallied our hands around him and set the agenda that will drive this country to prosperity. So for us, from the angle of the GMB tag team, we are ready, like any other Liberian, to join him and the rest of the team. We don't have time for the many propagandas that will come because it is a glaring fact that Ambassador Boycott stands a chance to win on the first ballot.
Josephus, I'm sorry, the time 30 seconds, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Out. So, Johnny, 1 minute.
So thank you, man. I mean, I want to appeal for additional 20 minutes, but let me start this. Look,
20 minutes.
Let me start by me. No, sorry, I'm not 20 seconds, but let me start this. I'm a Lofian for a matter of fact. Well, let me be very clear here. Joseph Boycott, the uncle from the tribal group of Kisi, is being used by some greedy, unprepared, very selfish Liberians that want to destroy Liberia. I'm saying this very clearly. I am a son of Lofa. My both parents are from Lofa, right? You know, there's a parable in Loma, and I will say it to you guys in English, and I will say it in Loma before I close the program. The straw does not get drunk, but the straw conveys power when somebody small who gets drunk. In this sense, I believe that Omen Boycott is being used as a straw to give power to some people that will have never been around power under a clear, fair, democratic process. So my people of Lofa, in as much as our intent for supporting Boycott is because we want presidency, he is not the president that we should support for presidency, simply because he will be the one that will set a very bad record for Lofians, that he will be a president, but the presidency will not be governed by him. The people of Lofa will not benefit from that presidency. It will actually be like through him, power will be going to people who do not deserve power. That's it. So this movie that was played, it has no issue of propaganda. It's a clear. In fact, the voice of the journalist that spoke to Omen Boycott is a brother of mine from Lofa. Almost every journalist in Lofa I know personally because I have been in Lofa for the last 15 years, back and forth, and I know this. Almost every local radio station in this country, I know them because I have worked with them over the 15 years in this country. So look, that video is a clear indication that people want to commit crime in this country. you see an old man that is experiencing a complete downward movement of his thoughts. And you are deliberately forcing this old man on these people because he's popular, people know him. Or because you want to come and hijack power through some kind of slow way. In a Liberian, simple English, slow way power. This is now fair to Liberians. All of you that behind Baka with this matter, you can't
What's the meaning of slow way?
My man,
time, my man, time.
No,
I have to
listen,
go look at.
and gentlemen, it means very clear to you, ladies and gentlemen.
20 seconds.
Our
20
old man
seconds.
is highly respected. The Baka of the 1970s, the Baka of the 1980s, the Baka of the 1990s is not a Baka we have today. So people are leaving Baka because those days when you were at FPMC, at FPLC, at the Accra Ministry, the kind of Baka we knew those days, it's not Baka we have now. And that's why Kun is making it clear. And that interview Kun had was in any part this year. And that's the slow way that he and Prinyosi has found. Slow way power. This is bad for Liberia. We all have our children. Our children need a better future.
Slow way power.
This is very bad for us. And Lofi, no, 1 minute.
All right, time now. His time is up. So
if you want a president from Lofa County, your best choice is Dr. Clarence K. Monima, who is a young, energetic man from Lofa that has the potential to lead Liberia for 6 years, if he does well, for 12 years. And then you have a best result from Lofa. If you leave Monima and go to Boakai, you are giving power to somebody who will now have nothing to do with Lofa, and you'll be competing for the next 100 years.
Okay, slow way power, Lofa.
Thank you, Keff Hassan. And I apologize, I really have to run. But here's the truth about the entire Honorable Boykai and his recent ordeal. Let's be honest here. For a country that desire progress, okay, a country that is regressing, to consider the presidency of an Honorable Boykai when you have 3 permanent, innovative, competent, okay, young individuals in the race who are not simply coming based on theories, but they have the practical understanding and the ability to move Liberia forward. But yet and still, you are considering the possibility of moving or even just thinking about an Honorable Boykai presidency. I know a lot of people frown at me for the mere fact that I refer to him as Honorable Boykai. Of course, he's my uncle. I would definitely give him due respect. But that does not negate the fact that Liberia deserves better today. The possibility of even considering an Honorable Boykai presidency gives Prince Johnson one step.
Yes. You're from Lofa, right?
Well, Lofa Julius. And what's the question? I am from Lofa.
No. The reason I'm saying is you say it's your uncle, and most of you guys from Lofa is your uncle. I just want to know that you from Lofa, the same as Johnny. For our folks to know that you're from there. So
my name was anybody to get slow power from
my name clearly states that yes, I am Lofian. Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Father from Lofa. But anyway, that's what we do here. Here's what I want to say. Liberia deserves better. The youth of Liberia deserves far better than what we are thinking today. Let us get away from this tribal affiliation. If we are to make decisions based on tribal lines, I think then we probably should at least consider a Clarence Moneyback, a young, vibrant, energetic, smart individual who can really serve Liberia. But in this capacity, to consider an Honorable Boykai, that will be, again, beyond I can't even speak to that. I'm saying to Liberian, Honorable Boykai and the CDC should not even be counted in this race. And finally, let me say this. I listened to Jackie when she spoke of the accusation made. No one responded to it and so forth. Jeremiah Coon is yet to respond to the allegation made against him by that of Henry Costa when he was called the boyo, the Hebron parceller. Okay? Henry Costa came out and apologized. An apology does not necessarily mean that the statement made is false. You can apologize. You can apologize for stealing somebody's car, but does that respond to some? Why you want Mr. Cummings to apologize then? Why you want Mr. Cummings to apologize then? You were just asking Mr. Cummings to apologize, didn't you?
Yeah, he should
Exactly.
apologize.
That's what I thought. So then Jeremiah Kun should apologize, or he should probably speak to the nation or respond in a way to tell us that.
Apologize for what?
No, he should speak to the
For
fact that
something that somebody else said. He responsible for what somebody else said.
He's involved in human
Look,
body
if somebody says something about you,
human body parts,
would you do you respond to everything people say about you, Lofa? You
so
don't.
Why are you asking
a response?
So why are you then asking other people to respond to certain things? Why?
You were just asking other people here to respond to stuff. So you talking about Lofa?
Jackie, again, let me bring you back. You were asking Honorable Comey and other people to respond to statement made against them by one Malu who is trying to find his way to your a group of ego, greedy, arrogant individual who cannot wait for power. And by the way, that decision made on your part is called phishing in technology. What you're doing is you have an embedded link in that article that was raised, and when you click on it, it takes you to Honorable Boycott page. It's called phishing. That's fraud. That is fraudulent in action. Click on the link. It takes you to Honorable Boycott page. That's phishing. Thank you.
What you know about the law before you come in to say fraud here? Nobody knows about accountability more than John.
I am not a legal practitioner. I'm not a legal practitioner.
John Malu is a
what I know for a fact is that he
is. Am I the one on the floor? Am I on the floor?
Financial laws,
Julius.
So don't come and mislead the public here.
Leave Jackie alone.
The fact that he had an embedded link in an article written is called phishing.
No. It's called following the laws. This man lives on international.
The link goes to Honorable Boycott's page. The link goes to Honorable Boycott or campaign page. What are you doing?
He said don't click here.
Look, I'll see you next week. Let me go ahead.
Accountability.
Okay, let me.
And the law. He's a law-abiding citizen.
Jackie, I will take some of your time. I will take some of Jackie's time.
No. He said he will take away Keff time because he let Lofa Julius continue talking. Go ahead.
You interrupted Jackie, so.
We have a couple more days to go to the finalization of this electoral process. The Liberian people have to realize one thing. They have to realize that they have to preserve the peace and sanity of this society, and they also have to realize that they have to make progress. And you can only make progress in maintain the peace and sanity of this country if you reject the CDC and you reject the Unity Party. I was listening to a radio program this evening, in fact, and somebody pointed out that every time there's been violence, electoral violence in this country, there are two parties on both sides of it. The CDC on one side and the UP on the other side. We cannot allow that to continue. We cannot allow that to continue being the norm in this country. We have to push these two parties aside and move this country forward. In Nigeria recently, when they started fighting, which two parties are on both sides of that fight? It was the CDC on one side and the Unity Party on the other side. When the campaign opened and they started arguing about who caught the guy here, which parties were on either sides of that fight? It was the CDC and the Unity Party. We have to tell these two groups of people to go and rest and reevaluate themselves for 6 years and probably come back if they decide to be fostering the issues of peace. So as we close this show tonight, I think it's this last show before Tuesday, right, Kev? Since campaign closes at midnight on Sunday.
No, just because your campaign closed on me, or we start talking, please. We'll continue to talk.
How do you talk the political thing? You got to talk the political thing.
No, you can talk about you can't say vote for this person.
I will admonish the Liberian people tonight. I will admonish the Liberian people tonight. The people listening to us, I will admonish them tonight. If we want to move this country forward, we do not only have to reject the CDC and the Unity Party. We have to elect the right person. And the right person is Councillor Teon C. Gonglo. He's the only person who has consistently shown that you can go into government and you can come out of government clean. The only person running for government, for president, that nobody can say anything negative about, because he has lived his life as his campaign. Councillor Gonglo, the way Councillor Gonglo has lived his life in his country has been his campaign. And that's the reason why you can't find anybody saying anything negative about him. He doesn't have any skeletons in his closet. We need to move this country forward. We cannot move this country forward by always making the worst mistake. In 1997, the same thing about peace. People in this country were told, do not vote for Mr. Taylor. You vote for Mr. Taylor, we go back to war. They ignored it. They said Mr. Taylor had one man in his job full of diamonds, and they voted for him. Up to today, we have not seen those diamonds. Mr. Taylor, 2 years later, we ended up in war. If we do not want to retrogress, we don't want to destroy the 20 years of peace that we have enjoyed. Since the people been threatening each other, when the person win, it means the other person cheated. Since they've been doing no threats, the hundreds of thousands of you out there who will not wear any party t-shirt or not go to any party campaign, vote against them. It is in your interest to vote against them. Vote against them. Vote for Bongo. Thank you very much. See you on Tuesday.
We got a few minutes. Okay. Let me go to Mr. Gaiman. Mr. Gaiman, because I think you have another engagement. So
yeah, thank you very much. I want to be clear here. I followed Mr. Cummings for maybe the past 6-7 years. Not once have I heard him say anything derogatory or inciting. I think the most violent thing he ever said was give President Weah a red card. So for anybody to say that he has the ability to connive with the former president and other folks to destabilize the country so he will become president in the meantime, it is ludicrous, and to me, it is asinine. You have to look at the character of these people from the day they got onto the political scene. If anybody wanted to say anything derogatory that is violent towards what we are doing, it all points to the Unity Party. It is the Unity Party scene that have killed people, that have maimed people, and continue to do so. So for someone to come out here to say that we have to gang up against Mr. Cummings because Mr. Cummings is about to bring war and both of us will be the loser and then he will be the interim president as per Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, that is disingenuous as best. But I think, to me, other than the plan to do some inside rigging or cheating or manipulating the data, Joseph Boyka and the Unity Party have seen that this thing has slipped from their hands. And this is it for the Unity Party. I think.
10 more seconds. Because the studio got to go.
I mean, who's the moderator here?
I'm doing the timing.
Go ahead.
Mind your business, Mariah.
Jackie, you'll be fine.
Mr. Gibbon, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, but it was nice being on your show. I think Unity Party have saying that this is it for them. After Joseph Boyka, there's nobody that I know of in the Unity Party that has the ability to raise this party to this standard. So this is it for them. The CPP will continue, Gonglo will continue, CDC will continue, Unity Party will be dead. Thank you.
Okay. Robert, I'll leave the two ladies for last.
Thank you. You know, there's one word that I'm going to leave this show with today, and that word is slow wave power. I still need to know what slow wave means. But
hey man, it's stowaway. You know the stowaway on the ship?
Uh-huh.
Robert, that one Liberians can call stowaway.
Stowaway, yes. The stowaway.
That's the concept. People go in the ship, they have in the ship to so that have people hiding behind Boyka to go to the president and say, that's the concept.
Slow way. I get it now.
Johnny,
I get it now.
Go ahead, Robert.
There will be there will be no room to hide. There will be no way to get slow with power. It's not happening. You know, I love my sister Jackie. Every time the opponent talking about why Joseph Boga should not be elected, then she can't keep up. But when Josephine, when what it needs to see her talking about GMP, she don't keep talking. But look, it's been an amazing show. Look, I would say this. These guys are embarrassing Joseph Boakai, and it's sad. You know, some of us you hear our voices for a very, very long time, you know, because we got future in our country. But if I was Joseph Boakai, I will fire Robert, whatever his name is, and I'll fire all those responsible for his communication affairs. And I heard my sister Jackie compare Joseph Boakai to a baby. But Joseph Boakai is not a baby. He's an elder. And he should be treated with respect. I know I will be darned if Mariah and others allowed comments in front of the cameras and they knew that he was not ready to do an interview, even after he's been briefed.
If Cummings is sad, go sit down in front of camera and not briefing, ready to do it.
Thank you. And then even after you realize that this person is not alert, instead of canceling the show or the interview, you attempt to coach him. And I love my dear friend and brother Joe Lowe. This is one of my best friends. But, you know, he was remembered for that infamous moment when he did the same thing. Jeted said that the foreign policy address will be Jeted said it'll be done, and I laugh at that video. I told him, I said,
The man was trying his best. He already knew what to say. He already knew what to say.
Robert, the studio. Robert, the studio.
Robert, your time is up.
I got 20 more seconds, please.
No, you got no 20 more seconds.
20 more seconds, please.
The studio is calling. Everybody got to talk,
okay,
Robert.
20 more seconds. Let me say this.
No.
Let me say this.
No, Jackie. Okay, Robert, please, I beg you, the studio, they want to go.
Okay. So my last statement is this. We love our country. Jackie, let me tell my 2 seconds, man. We love our country. We love our country. We love our country, and there will be absolutely no slow way power. Say no to slow
Robert,
power.
your time
no to slow power.
Robert, okay.
Josephus, before you log off.
No, listen, no. Josephus already. Let me say this to you. Let me say this to you guys.
Yes.
Everybody beating on Jackie. I'm going to go straight. Josephus, I'm going to go straight to Jackie to do a closing. And
no. I'm doing my closing.
But Josephus spoke first because
Josephus didn't do his closing.
No, he did closing. Jackie.
He did first. You said he was leaving.
So let me do his
closing. I just did an intro. It was just an intro.
Guys.
It was just an intro. I didn't close.
Josephus.
Oh, your first time speaking.
Josephus.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on.
Yes.
Jackie. Yeah.
Yes.
Hold on. Oh God, he having a delay.
Keff,
Keff, are we closing?
Yeah, we
Keff,
already
are we closing?
He didn't close.
I thought it was calling the tip.
Go ahead, Jackie. Go ahead. It's your time. Go ahead.
Let me say this. I like the way how Johnny and Lamy can be talking against JMB when the two Senate bearers are products of the Unity Party. They learn politics and learn a lot about public governance under Unity Party. Although I know your Senate bearer Lamy worked in another government at one time too, but most of the political life they spend it in Unity Party. So when y'all talk against Unity Party, y'all talking against your own Senate bearer. So I don't get that. Why talk against Unity Party when Clarence Moneba and Gonglo are products of Unity Party, and what they are today is a result of Unity Party, especially Dr. Clarence Moneba, who's still, by the way, learning. And if you say that people, Johnny, are the reason pushing JMB to run this year, Then what about the people out there who are saying it is Ellen Johnson said you got Clarence Monepa when United Party government ended? Clarence Monepa still works for Madame Salif, even up to today. He works for the office of the former president. So the people out there are saying that Ellen is the one who put Clarence Monepa in the race to go against his own Uncle Joe in Lofa County. So you see that? Be careful when you be talking, Johnny. But the Lothians are resolved.
No, Jackie, I can be careful.
The Lothians are resolved.
I will have to respond to you in 30 seconds, please.
The Lothians are resolved. You finish doing your closing.
Yeah,
the Lothians are resolved. They want
No, I'm
Joseph
not closing.
Barker.
I spoke about the video. I'm not closing. I spoke about the video.
Are resolved, including the Southeast.
Go. I'm sorry, guys.
They want JNB, and JNB is the next president. Tomorrow we are doing our closing. We look forward to a wonderful closing tomorrow. I understand CDC is doing theirs on Sunday. So again, I'm going to talk about a peaceful election, but more importantly, the government is responsible for the peace, for a fair, transparent election. So the government must do its part if they want the people to also do their part. It starts with the CDC government, and we expect them to do what it's supposed to do for this election.
Thank you, Jackie. The guys got to go. Mariah, close, please.
Yeah, Kev, I'll just be quick. Yeah. So on the, Sonny Jackie's left, the Molu tape, like I said, I think I spoke extensively on it. I think it's evil, it's dubious, it's ridiculous, it's preposterous, it's unacceptable, and it's dangerously desperate, or desperately dangerous, whichever. The point of the matter is no one in a sound mind can ever link Mr. Cummings to any claim of violence or trying to bring interim government with anybody to this country. Nobody in a sound mind. Like, you have to be out of a sound mind to even think of Mr. Cummings in that light. This is the same Mr. Cummings who is on record when the very Unity Party was working with Henry Costa and the COP on the We Are Step Down campaign. It was the same Mr. Cummings and the ANC that spoke against that campaign, that protest, withdrew from that protest, and specifically spoke publicly that any attempt for an elected president to forcefully step down was unconstitutional and he was not going to be part of it, that we should use the ballot box to get Mr. Weir out of power if we didn't want him to be president again. That was Mr. Cummings. That today, that Mr. Cummings won't bring interim government to be here or interim government, you can think before you talk. Or for your, at this point now, your whole politics are about Mr. Cummings. But you ain't going nowhere. You ain't got time for you this. But every single thing about Unity Party has been about attacking Cummings, how to bring Cummings down, how to turn Liberians against Cummings, from lying that he's gay, from lying that he brought sanctions, from lying that he this. Now you're lying that he want to bring interim government. You're sound? Clearly not. But let me also address the video. It is sad. It is sad. It is so sad that people, and I said, yeah, we kill. I mean, the born in United Party really wicked. And it's so sad that the Ome has allowed himself to be used by these users. I mean, I know UP is the users party, but you will use the Ome too. You're not use everybody else until you use the Ome. And the fact that Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kuhn of the MDR, the part of that video that people didn't show was the other statement from Prince Johnson in Nima that said MDR will get the presidency through Unity Party. It's on record. Prince Johnson speaking and saying his party, MDR, will get the presidency through Unity Party. This is all part of the plan. And as Johnny said, slow way power. That Prince Johnson wants access to the presidency. He wants the vice presidency for his party, which is what MDR is and what Kuhn represents. By the end of the day, the Liberian people will understand one thing and one thing only. These elections are about the past, the present, and the future. If Unity Party of the past is the answer to Liberia's problem, and Prince Johnson having the vice presidency of this country after killing thousands of Liberians is the answer to this issue that we have today. That's your decision to make. If this current government that has harmonized salaries, that has suffered Liberians, that have increased poverty in this country is the answer to our problems, that's your decision to make. But if Liberians want to move forward to a better future with a man of peace, a man of prosperity, a man of progress, a man of record, Mr. Alexander B. Cummings in the CPP is the answer. I'm not asking you for your opinion, Jackie. It's the answer. I am not asking you to keep time.
Jackie,
I'm
the one running the
Thank you very much.
I'm the one doing
Mr. Alexander Cummings
Jackie, I
is
did
the
not select
person
anybody to do this.
I'm co-panelist for you.
Jackie, as long as you keep talking, my time continues. Thank you. It's the person to be elected for this country to move forward. This is the person with a plan, not something that say arrest who. This is someone who's consistently spoken about how we would create jobs, how we would attract investments, how we would put people into.
Jackie, let the woman finish.
The more Jackie speaks, the more my time.
Let you finish. Go ahead, Mariah. Jackie.
Thank you very much. This is someone who has consistently spoken about how he will improve the economy, how he will grow the budget, how he will provide jobs, how he will attract investment, because he has the connections, the international credibility to do that. My people, this one is on us. None of Nigerians, Ghanaians, Indians, and Americans will come and vote and make that decision. We, as Liberians, have to vote for our future, for our children's future, not because somebody popular, not because we have sympathy for somebody, not because somebody old, not because of any reason, but because someone can do the job. And that person is Mr. Cummings. Good luck. October 10, 2023. Go to the polls. Make sure you vote right and vote CPP and Alexander B. Cummings. Thank you.
Another bombshell again. Mo Ali caught up in a situation again. Another one in a situation.
Keff, let Josephus close, then you can talk about your bombshell.
Kev is saying there is no time, so
the studio gotta go. The studio gotta go.
Wait, the studio gotta go.
Henry,
Why
take us off.
talk that long?
Henry, take everybody off. The studio gotta go. Take us off. Take us off. Take us off. We gotta go.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I tell you, there's all the time we have to be with you today on the closing argument. The time stands at exactly 1 minute down 12 o'clock. Let me say many thanks to the guy at Hot FM 107.9 and other community radio stations for relaying this program. We call it a day today. Just before leaving, let me say many thanks to the technical team here at the Renaissance Communication Incorporated, Truth FM 96.1. And we sincerely apologize for not taking calls today. We're hoping that next Monday we will take calls. So on behalf of the team, my name is Heron Jara, Elijah Zeze Ben behind the camera. This is how we draw the curtain down today on today's presentation here on the closing argument. So I get a team song, Peace, Perfect Peace, Lucky Doobie.